And we are recording with Defense Politics Asia. Mr. Wyatt
Hello,
coming
everyone.
from us. He woke up especially for me. I texted him last night at like what? I texted you like 3 a.m. your time, and I was like, "You want to do a podcast tomorrow?" And you're like, "When?" And I was like, 3 p.m. You're like, "What day?" And I was like, 11 hours and 45 minutes from now. And you're like, "I'll be there." And I was like, "My fucking
Yeah, and it's 3 a.m. now in Singapore.
yeah."
So hello everyone. I'm Wyatt from Defense Politics Asia, and
Asia.
yeah, I'm feeling like I'm totally not in the same kind of readiness as the last time I'm on the show.
Yeah. Well, he woke up for me, and so if Wyatt's a little slow, if you got a little sleep in him, it's okay. I'll carry the torch. I'll put Wyatt on my back. I'll carry it.
Don't worry. I will get better and better as as the blood start to flow into my brain.
Dude, that's why. Yeah. That's why. So like I always wake up exactly 2 hours before I do a podcast. I wake up and immediately I have the adrenaline of like, oh my God, I have a podcast in 2 hours. I get up, I make my bed, I immediately go to the gym. I do a mile on the treadmill. I do push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, and then I lift weights. I come back, take a shower, and meditate. And then I come in here, I take caffeine and turn on all these bright lights. And so I'm just like amped up, and I've got like a 1 to 2 hour window where I'm amped up, and then after that I start to crash. So I just try to time it perfectly every day. I've got one little sweet spot where I can host a podcast and be up and be energetic, because after that I start to go downhill. So no, I feel
Usually
you.
I just call that Red Bull.
Red Bull. Well, that too. Yeah.
I was like,
I combine them all.
I'm so tired. I need to do something. Let's go, man.
I don't even do that.
And then after that, when the Red Bull's caffeine wears, I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah. No, dude, I take a caffeine pill right before the podcast starts. It's 200 milligrams. It's the same as a 5 hour energy. It takes like 5 minutes to hit you, and I've got like an hour of like go time. If I have a second podcast, I'll take a second one, but I won't do more than that, and then I start to crash. So it's yeah. I have a very limited window where I'm up and awake.
Coffee is good enough. I think just for me, it's just coffee or Red Bull. If I want a really fast heat, then it's a Red Bull.
Yeah.
Or else I actually mix coffee and Milo. You know what is Milo? Do you know what is Milo? Milo is in Australia and Southeast Asia, we actually drink this chocolate drink called Milo.
Okay.
So the brand is called Milo. Milo Yiannopoulos, the same Milo, Milo. So the first time when he came out, it's like Milo. Because usually we call dogs Milo, so we don't call a human Milo. yeah. Milo, come here. So I was quite fascinated. That's how I call Milo. Yeah. Wow. So in Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Australia, it's an Australian drink. So it's very popular. So I actually mixed the Milo, the chocolate drink, with coffee, and I mix it. So it's a bit like a custom-made mocha.
I used to before I ever did the podcast, so like 2017, 2018, when I was doing graphic design, teaching myself graphic design, I would put I would make vanilla coffee, like the little K cups. I would make 2 of those, like piping hot, pour it over ice in like a big thermos, only like halfway, and then I would pour some Diet Coke in, just a little bit, and mix it up. Oh yeah, and my parents used to like puke when I would make it.
But vanilla Coke is a thing, right? The vanilla Coke is a thing. So.
Yeah, but it'd be vanilla coffee with just a little bit of Diet Coke on the ice, just a little bit, not enough that's actually carbonated. It was actually insanely. I'm also a gross pig, so I don't know. Maybe you would puke if you had it. But to and for everybody listening, I'll put Wyatt's YouTube in the description as well as your Rumble, because I know you're populating that, and I know what's the other channel? Walking something.
My own channel.
Yeah, it's walking. It's not walking.
It is a walking problem.
Walking problem.
So, but No, so my own channel is working problem.
Yeah.
But the DPA Defense Politics Asia have its own channel.
Yeah.
On Rumble as well.
Yeah.
So it's Rumble C, I think / Defense Politics Asia, I think. Yeah, so it is a bit confusing when there are so many platforms. My focus is still on YouTube because YouTube pays better. So unless Rumble or Odyssey or whoever start changing, you know, maybe their advertising become more effective.
Yeah.
Where they start to pay creators well.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people will jump ship like very fast.
Yeah.
Rumble tentatively, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rumble doesn't pay shit, dude. They don't pay shit. I make maybe 10 cents a day on Rumble.
It's a scam.
It's a total scam.
They put in the term and conditions when you post a video, they say, oh, exclusive right to Rumble. You know, then you'll earn more.
They completely fuck you.
Then the other part they'll put like if you choose this one, it's the same as the YouTube one, then you can earn as a creator. Then after that, like you can never get any money from Rumble.
Those cocksuckers.
But maybe there's no advertisers. I'm not sure. Or maybe there
are, but they're scrap. They're total shit, dude. It's and for everybody listening to this that isn't interested in this, I don't give a fuck. Go fuck yourself. On Rumble, the only ads I ever get, dude, are unsubscribe. I don't give a shit. If you don't like this, go fuck yourself. I don't care.
Yeah, because he's not getting enough money from Rumble.
I don't get any money. What the fuck do I care? Subscribe or unsubscribe. I don't give a shit. Stop listening to my channel. File a police report against me. Say I raped you. I don't care. So the only fucking ads I get on Rumble, dude, are all these like clickbait, like no, they're not even ads. They're just pictures under it. Like right now, okay. I don't even know what this is. It's a picture of Biden. It looks like he's in like a fleshlight or something. It says Biden probably wants this video destroyed. Massive currency upheaval has started. Click here. What?
I'm sure he have so much videos he want to destroy.
Well, probably not wrong, but I don't think this is one of them. Now, if it was a picture of Biden on Epstein Island with like a 4-year-old and he was wearing a goat mask, okay, I'll run that ad.
Many people is going to click it, man.
I'll get some clicks there. But okay, here's another one. Biden wants this video erased, all caps, and it's just a camera in front of a flag. There's another one. Biden wants this video erased, and it's just a picture of guys standing around the seal of the Central Intelligence Agency. Like, I don't get good ads. It's not Pepsi. It's not Walmart. It's not Netflix. It's clickbait shit of like, doctors don't want you to know this one secret. And it's like a picture of like a gerbil and a maple leaf. And it's like, eat this tonight if you want to lose 9 pounds. That's where I am right now. So excuse me, Rumble, if I'm not exactly keen on giving a shit whether or not people watch this. You pay me 10 cents a day to push boomer clickbait.
So I Rumble, if you are here listening, this is actually 2 different content creators telling you to get better advertising, companies to work with you.
Yeah, and I love Wyatt's distancing himself from me. He was like, Tommy is very critical of you. I personally think you guys are doing good. Defense Politics Asia, Walking Problems, sub to me. It's good cop, bad cop.
No, but it's a true thing, you see. If they have better, because I'm not sure, if they can do a better advertising kind of thing, create their own system, I'm sure that a lot of creators will jump over, because the problem is revenue. Nobody can live forever. We can't create revenues for free, or not for no money. Yeah, except for Tommy. So that's why you guys must support Tommy.
Yeah, support me, because there's I can't keep doing this for free. It's gonna end. It's gonna end. Got about a year and a half left.
So not sure how you're gonna like get something out of this, because if you cannot get on YouTube, then it's a big problem. Because I think if you are on YouTube, oh my god, your channel will be like at least minimum 500,000 by now.
I got to 5,000 when they banned me.
Because you're at the precipice of no exponential growth. So around 5K, I think you're gonna grow really quickly. Then you'll be like hitting 10K, within half a month. That kind of situation. So currently DPA is stuck in this. So Defense Politics Asia is on YouTube. So ever since I think after after May, in early in June, that we are kind of dropped into a different algorithm. So I'm like from getting on average 500 subs a day, I dropped to like struggling for 200 subs a day. Then by August, sorry, last month, the subs, sometimes I don't even get 10 subs a day. Sometimes.
Welcome.
Then there was one day.
Welcome to the party, Wyatt.
Then there was one day, because Ukraine said launched a massive counter offensive, I got 800 subs that one day. Then after that, go back to the stupid very low.
Yeah.
This month was okay. This month was okay. This month it got around on the average 100 to nearly 200 average a day in this month. So because it's very weird, because the algorithms, it seems like the channel is put into a different algorithm every beginning of the month. It's very weird because it was so clear, because I'm always like going through the data. I was like always looking and observing, what did I do differently?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's always in the beginning of the month, and there seems to be a slight adjustment in the middle of the month. So it's like you can do very well this month. Suddenly, the moment the next month came, then.
Hell yeah, no,
and
I keep data every day. Got a huge Excel spreadsheet. It always changes.
So what I do is
month. Yeah.
So what I do is I actually contacted Google support, the one that for the creators. I actually directly asked them, I gave them so much data that the person gets shocked because it's like, I really know my shit. Then after that, I asked them very direct questions like, why is the algorithm always changed, in the beginning of the month? Because you can see that the data, that kind of drop, like it's always in the beginning of the month. So, and then I even tell them about, new viewers versus existing viewers ratio. How come the ratio is always is dropping from like maybe 1:2 to then 1:5, 1:8. Why is it dropping? It doesn't make sense. I questioning them a lot of things because there is another channel on YouTube called the Military Summary. So he's a Belarusian guy called Dima, if I'm not wrong. So he does a very good work as well. He's very similar to my channel in the sense that we both cover the Ukraine war on a daily basis, but he comes from a slightly pro-Russian perspective. And of course, the way we cover, of course, is different. But it's at least he stands on the pro-Russian side. I'm on the center side, neutral. And then we have another channel called War in Ukraine, which is the pro-Ukrainian side. So we three are the so-called the main guys that he's been covering right from the beginning. So Military Summary started off way below me. He was like in 5-6K when I was already like 20K subs. Now he's much bigger than me now. I think he's in the 60 over K. Am I still at like 40 over K? I'm like stuck in the 40 over K for like 2 months already.
This is how it starts, Wyatt. I don't mean to be the a horseman of the apocalypse, but this is how it starts. It starts with your growth rates. It starts with the growth rate slowing down.
68K, man, 68K. He's like, wow, he's 68K. He's almost. Okay, my math is failing me. He's at least 50% of more than me in terms of subscribers, and I look through his numbers, the views and everything. It seems like he never got hit by any of this algorithm change. So I was thinking, what the hell did I do wrong, man? So I can't answer it.
So, and I say this with love and support, Wyatt. You're trying to
Rumble.
You're trying. Yeah. No. Yeah. Fuck Rumble. No, I don't give a shit. You don't have to come to Rumble. I don't give a fuck. Go burn down their head. Don't do that. That's. I don't mean to incite violence. Don't burn down Rumble.
No, don't.
Do not do that. That was a metaphorical. That was an idea.
Yes, exactly.
This
show is actually a comedy. If you didn't realize,
is a comedy.
So
this is about a hypothetical company called Rumble.
Correct. We are like the onion.
Yes, it is not.
We are like the bee.
Yeah, we're
everything
not talking
we
about
say
Rumble.
Is actually all wrong.
Rumble is a restaurant that exists in a video game that I haven't developed yet. It's not real. Don't fucking do it. But
yeah, exactly. Like Hunter Biden's video is all fake. The laptop is wrong. It's all
maybe
fake.
That's the only way to actually find out what my true viewership is a call to violence. And if I see riots across the cities, I'll be like, it's working. And if I see nothing, Wyatt's looking at me like, No, no, shut the fuck up. I'm out of here. But no, so like what you're trying to do, and I, all jokes aside, and I see exactly what I was doing in 2020. You're trying to apply rationale and logic to a very corrupt system. And no system's free of corruption. I'm not trying to sound idyllic and naive, but you're showing them when they're shocked at data, what they're really shocked at is someone calling their bullshit. Someone that's actually looking at keeping their own statistics and using their own brain and saying, hey, the themes aren't the same, the mathematical growth rates aren't the same, these aren't natural. Maybe you shift your algorithm at the beginning of the month, but you start to look at other channels and you go, I don't see a platform wide algorithm change. So what's happening is there's a selectively enforced rule on you, as there have been to countless other channels. And when you bring it up to them, they're going to act like they don't know what it is, but they know exactly what it is. The only thing you're alerting them to is the fact that you now know what's up. They will continue to do it. And it's
a surprising that they actually, so the person I talked to, so, she don't have the, typically the first line of customer services, they have a copy and paste answer. So every time she tried, they copy and paste. I said, no, this is exactly not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this. Is because I got, I gave her all the data. It's very hard for her to give me copy and paste answers, scripted answers. So she said that she raised this to the specialist, the experts. And surprisingly, there is that they actually replied the email, and they actually made an effort to actually write a very long email, they actually really made an effort to actually go through my data, my statistics, and try to suggest certain things, how to change, or maybe something is not working in certain ways. So at least I appreciate that they actually go through, because when they cited certain changes, maybe not as detailed as mine, but at least I find that okay, they actually send someone at least spend a few man hours to go through my shit, and I'm like, okay. Then I was like, okay, I at least appreciate that. At least I put them on notice that I noticed, so please put me on a much normal algorithm. So this month is still all right, but it's nothing like in April, May, when I'm like growing exponentially. So I was like already like in June, I was like telling, I was like, wow, April this number, May this number, then but March I was only here, so like, wow, it's going to be an exponential growth. I'm going to earn X amount of money by this month. So all right, I'm going to make plans. Then June drop, then May, June, oh fuck man, my months, June, July, August, September. Let's just keep dropping.
Yeah.
But I can't drop any further. I think last month was as bad as it can go, because I'm still posting on a daily basis, and there is a certain number of viewerships. So I think they are unable to drop it any further, because people actually seek me out. They will actually search for me and then search for my video. So I think I'm really at the bottom that it can go. So this month will be better, seemingly, because thankfully, because people decided to kill themselves over somewhere around the world, so I get to earn the blood money.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen, at the end of the day is the realization there's no other money but blood money, so you might as well become a warlord. But I applaud your optimism about how you can't get any lower, but it's gonna go lower. I've watched videos.
The only
on
way
YouTube.
is actually kick me out. Yeah,
no. They'll get even bolder. In my final months on YouTube, I'd upload a video. I'd watch it climb to 100 views in the first 2 minutes because it was a doctor. And then it would pause and stay at 200 for the next 6 months. So they would freeze it. And then, well, not next 6 months because I was kicked off. And then they went further. I'd upload it maybe 2 in the morning or something. And I think you're not watching. It'd go up to 250 views in the first minute when I interviewed like I don't know, like a Delta Force operator or like a guy that flew stealth bombers, like a cool interview. Pause at 250, and then it would rewind to 200, 150. And I still have the screenshots, 175, 150, and then they'll give you an arbitrary number, 117 views, and it will stay there.
Who the hell do you offend, man?
What? I offended the
Who
fucking
the hell do you
commissars. That
offend?
I offended clearly. I offended the fuck our dear leader, or glorious leader, our commissars. But so, and then the next step is they're going to start suspending you, and then banning you. And
I think maybe the reason why they can't do what they do to me to me is that because I'm not American. I think that's one of the main reasons, because they do not know what's the consequences, man. Because
very
I
true.
can tell you
Very true. Yeah.
I can tell you for sure, the Singapore's Foreign Affairs Ministry, or at least some of the people are already aware of defense politics in Asia years ago, because we are the only so-called think tank that is based in Singapore. The only website or publication, so-called publications, that is writing on geopolitics and politics or military stuff that is based in Singapore. So we already caught the raised eyebrow. We have raised eyebrows because defense politics Asia appeared and it's based in Singapore. And then people like, who the hell are these people?
Yeah.
So and then by now, I'm quite sure, at least, certain people in Ministry of Defense, certain people of Ministry of Internal Affairs, Internal Affairs that controls the police and internal security, which is like the secret police maybe, then definitely Foreign Affairs are aware. So if they do something to my channel, then I'm definitely going to write letters to my ministry and ask, what the hell is this censorship? Is it really in Singapore's favor, or because Singapore is trying to get more influence through media, and so far they had this Channel News Asia, which is like the BBC of Singapore, and its influence is not very high, if you ask me. Yeah, because they report like 50% seems to be like all Singapore news. They don't seem to have enough correspondence around overseas. So to have maybe Defense Politics Asia around, it's a special thing that although they are not controlling me, because usually the Singapore do love to prefer to have a monopoly on media, although there is still free media. So the why I exist, but it's something, it's a net positive. So definitely they don't dare to anyhow censor people like me, especially. It does seems to have some advantage to Singapore. For example, like a lot of people don't even know where Singapore, or don't know Singapore that well. They don't even know how a Singaporean look like or how we sound like. So now everyone knows that a Singaporean sounds like a Nigerian.
It's oh fuck, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I think you're probably going about this a little more professional. I also went in just guns blazing. I emailed them and I told them, I was like, I may look like a white guy, but I was like, I'll have you know, like, I identify as a black disabled trans woman. And they just, that was kind of,
Do you do that?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I did.
I think you screwed with them.
Yeah, well, that too. But you know what? But you know what? Go fuck yourself. I don't give a shit. It's free content. I understand you're a video hosting platform, but it's free content. You're asking for pennies on the dollar. I also just don't give a shit. If you can't take a joke, go fuck yourself. But what I would say is there's if I obviously from my own sort of like traumatizing experience with YouTube, I say traumatizing. It's I'm on BitChute, Odyssey, Rumble, Spotify, and now uploading to CloutHub. Is what you can do, and there is a serious note to this, even if YouTube never bans you, is by having more data, right? So every channel, I got daily subscribe. I manually enter in my data set daily subscribers or subscriber count. I have total views divided by the number of episodes, so average views. I have like retention time, and then whatever the equivalent is there a like or a rumble or a thumbs up or a whatever. By keeping data for all of those, what you can do is you have more of a solid foundation to stand on when you can start to properly accuse them, maybe not even publicly, but just know within your own mind when they're messing with you. Because let's say I just start putting out shit episodes, and I've done that. I've been in slumps before, depression or drinking too much, and you're just phoning it in. you could sit there and go, "Oh, Rumble's censoring me," but then you look across Rumble, BitChute, Odyssey, Spotify, and like the views are down on all of them. You go, maybe I'm not bringing my A game. Versus, you're still climbing at the same relative. Like I've been on BitChute for 2.5 years, and I'm at like 700 subscribers. Like it's just not growth. It's fine, but it grows at its own pace. Whatever that pace is, it grows at it. Spotify the same, Odyssey the same, Rumble the same. What you can do though is when one of them dramatically slows down, but the other, even if they're still growing slowly, but grow at their predicted and based on past patterns growth, you go, something's happening here. And that is where I'm at with Rumble right now. Rumble's starting to fuck me. And I think I've got it figured out. And again, you might be listening
because they're getting listed, right?
What?
Because they're getting listed.
Well, no, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, because they're getting listed.
No, well, because
exactly
they're getting on the stock market.
Yeah, so they're getting listed, which is why they're trying to show more content that is more entertaining, and not so political. But
those cops. No, but I think I've got it figured out. So, the last 2 years it was growing slowly, and then I had my biggest episode in January with Dr. Malone, Dr. McCullough, and Dr. Desmond, mass formation psychosis. This was right after mass formation psychosis was like a buzzword from like Joe Rogan. Had them on, and it got like 600,000 views in like 2 days, and it brought my subscriber count from 1,200 to I think 6,400. And again, anybody listening to this is not interested. I don't give a shit. But it grew up very fast, and I looked at my total views, and in the first 2 years, I think I got maybe like 100,000 views on Rumble combined, and then in 2022, I got like 2.8 million. And I was averaging,
and that's huge, And on Rumble, that's huge.
Rumble,
Rumble is
tiny.
Rumble is like the Wild West,
It's tiny. Like, it's tiny. It's like the dark. It's the dark web. It's buying cocaine behind a strip bar. It's not good. It's not reputable. It's not a shiny pharmacy.
It's like trying to find out what Biden actually took.
Yeah,
what photo was taken of him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, on one hand, you'll have a thumbnail about the war in Ukraine, and then like the video below will be like Hillary Clinton's a lizard, and I have proof. Like you got to understand like where you got to just be aware of like who you're rubbing shoulders with. It's whatever. I get it. It's where I am. No one owes me anything, so I'll go fuck myself. But I was getting on average about, if you just took the average number, just days per year. So right now we're on day 260, I think, of this year. If you just took views this year and then divided it by the number of days, not even episodes, just views for pure day across all episodes, I was averaging about 3,500, between 3,500 and 5,000 views across all like 800 episodes, just combined per day, from January 4th. Yeah, January 4th to about July 28th. I was averaging, and it was climbing 3,500, and then throughout the year got closer to 4,000, 4,500. Steady clip, growing. All right, cool. And then overnight on August 1st, it dropped to about 1,000 a day. And then about a week later, it dropped to 500 a day. And it's sitting right now at like 300 to 500 a day. If I get lucky, I'll break 1,000. And it's been doing that every day since August 1st. But I've added 3,000 more subscribers since August 1st.
Yeah.
And it's still going.
Could it be because of whether the audience are leaving Rumble? Could it be?
Well, so I've looked at it a lot of ways. And again, if it was dropping across all of my channels, I would just be like, I just suck. But the other channels, although slowly, are still growing at the same rate. So I started seeing people comment, "Hey, you're not showing up in my feed anymore," or "Hey, I'm only on Rumble for you. You're my only subscription, and you don't show up." All right, that sucks. But then I was getting a lot of comments about people saying, everyone on Rumble, people who use Rumble. I don't even use Rumble because it just sucks. It's just, the platform's just not. It's just what it is. I'm not going to lie about that. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Get better. So people are saying all across Rumble. And I know I'm going on a rant right now, but it's creators across Rumble were all saying my views have dropped dramatically. So it was across all of Rumble, which is a little better. It just means there was an internal
the viewers
change.
are all leaving. Yeah, that means the viewers are all leaving Rumble. to something better. And could it be Odyssey? Because the Odyssey is actually very well designed in terms of UI. I just don't like that they are awarding me fake money, like monopoly money.
Yeah. But so it's either everyone's leaving Rumble, or another is that they're bringing views down across Rumble because they're getting bigger names like Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson and Russell Brand, and but I don't have anything to base that on. What I think it is this, and this is just my running theory. It happened like within 24 hours of when they put up the banner at the top of Rumble that said we are now listed on NASDAQ, or will soon be. What I think is this. I think the views I'm getting now on Rumble are the real views that I've actually always been getting. I think they artificially boosted it. So when people started uploading on Rumble, maybe Defense Politics Asia, they go, I'm getting 5 times as many views on Rumble. It's an artificial gravity that pulls you to Rumble. And now that they're going on NASDAQ, and much like Elon buying Twitter, and now you got to put your court record, you got to put it on oath that you're not messing with the numbers. I think Rumble's puckering their asshole and going, no more bots, no more fake numbers, because now we're messing with the SEC.
So they're doing a TikTok thing.
Yeah, they're doing the old switcheroo.
So that's why I suspect about TikTok, because I feel that their numbers are all very
inflated,
exaggerating. It's like, I have like 1 million subs. They're always in the millions, and it's always some ridiculous numbers.
Yeah,
and you cannot explain it because it does not correspond to reality on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, or even Twitter. No platforms give you the kind of stupid number of views or subs or followers, which makes no sense. Like I tell you, I have an empty TikTok account. Let me see how many followers I have. I have like really beautiful people following me, like very pretty girls following me with let me see what's that? I got 60 followers, Can you believe it? I got 60 followers. Let me see what's their name. Can I see their name? I got like HHHGFFGHHHJJ following me. Yeah, GGJGFBN
or it's like
they're all so gorgeous. They're all so pretty.
Or it's like the username is like sexy lonely near you 445.
They maybe that's too long for them. It's easier to just random put letters like what QI QI QW Q4 5YBUULS. It's like, and they're all very pretty girls, following me. And my account have just a profile pic of myself, and there's nothing inside. It's blank.
You're a very sexy man, Wyatt, and I don't want to hear you sell yourself short.
I only use TikTok to look at pretty girls. So it's like, and look at sexy videos. But it's like, if a totally blank account have followers, 60 followers, then how fake are all these numbers that is on those established ones? So so many people got addicted to TikTok, especially like in India, even in Singapore, because these numbers are so intoxicating. Like for example, we are content creators, we know this, but imagine the numbers got inflated 100 times. You'll be like, wow, I'm famous now.
Oh, it's got to be an adrenaline kick. Oh, sure.
Yeah, they will think that they are so famous, man. So that's what the TikTok do. So maybe the theory you have for Rumble might be true, because now, like, the views that I'm getting on for Defense Politics Asia on Rumble, nothing past 100. Is this kind of number is like, why the hell do I even want to focus on Rumble?
Yeah. No, like I don't focus on BitShooter. I just upload them. I upload the video with the description and the links, but I don't push the links to the videos. They're just there as a backup for me. But I think what it is I think Rumble probably pulled a fast one. I think they inflated numbers to get people there, and now they're sort of having to put their nuts on the table. That's not even a phrase, but I guess they're putting their balls on the table, and it made that people are like, the fuck are you talking about? But they're putting their nuts on the table now, because now they probably have a microscope under their ass or up in their ass, going
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you're on the SEC now. You've got the whatever, the FCC, the SEC. You know, what are you trading on? You've got, you know,
They need Elon Musk to come in and say, no, I suspect you have a lot of bots.
yeah. Well, that's what I think. I think what they're doing is they're going, if Twitter is having their dirty laundry aired about bots, then it's going to happen to us because we're 1/1 millionth of the size. So that's what I think it is, which ultimately
Mhm.
sucks, because as much as I kind of feel better that I think I've figured it out, well, that just still means that Rumble is as amoral and lacking in any sort of ethical foundation as YouTube. YouTube just got away with it longer. That's
Because
all it
from my
means.
experience, so when I was still doing the working problem when Defense Politics Asia haven't really have a clear content strategy on YouTube. I was focusing on working problem, which is my own, which is my other channel, other brands, and I realized that I'm getting better numbers on Big Truth than Rumble. Rumble is literally pointless for most cases. And then I also upload somewhere. Let me see. Brighteon as well. Brighteon is no. Okay.
I need to start uploading
Big
there.
Truth is most interesting. The problem with Big Truth is also is badly designed. Like for example, people
BitChute's
comments.
BitChute's the worst. BitChute is
Like,
hands down the worst.
like people comment, you know, they actually watch and then they comment, but then I will never know that they commented, you know, after months later. So
Oh yeah.
so the you know
It's sorry, I was writing down Brighteon. I was making a note. Oh yeah, no, they don't inform you. There's no notifications. And BitChute,
yeah.
the video, not all the videos go up. Sometimes they just get frozen. It just says processing. They'll
Yeah,
process for 9 months.
it will process forever.
I
Yeah,
remember I
yeah, yeah.
emailed them and I was like, hey, like I upload these and you know, I've got 900 episodes. It takes a while to upload them, like, and some of them aren't processing. They're like, well, you just got to re-upload them. And I'm like, no, you need to fix your fucking website. Like, but then again, they don't owe me anything. So if I want my episodes up, no, I do need to re-upload them. And so, and again, to anybody listening, for the last time, for anybody listening to this that's not interested, this is the unsexy back end of this. The entire thing is numbers
Mhm.
and is it making money? Surprise,
Yeah,
just like real life, you're concerned if it can pay the bills. I know it's a shocker. I know it's a shocker.
yeah.
But when you're doing it day in and day out, you tend to look at the markers of whether or not it's growing.
So if you are here to watch, because I'm on, you think that we are going to be talking about geopolitics? No, so disappointing for
I'm
you.
sorry. Oh, we'll bring up Ukraine eventually. Well, that's
Oh,
where
you
this
can just drag,
culminates. That's where this
just drag,
culminates.
drag
What?
here, just drag.
Yeah. So what happens is, yeah. Get on the fucking thing and just, I'll just, so yeah, maybe I should just put it in the title. Maybe the title of the video will be, we start talking about Ukraine at minute and second number X. That'll just be the title. So fucking, because people are going to blow their brains out
So
listening to this.
that's what we do on YouTube. We put the timestamp, so people can just skip the part they don't
Yeah,
like.
well, there's no
Mm.
timestamp on Rumble and BitChute, honestly, because they're fucking shitty platforms that I've been stuck
See,
on.
Rumble, you see, you're so terrible.
Fucking, I have no. But that's, I don't know, man. Like, maybe I should be acting more professional, but I also just like, why?
No, I think you're stuck because if you are not on YouTube, it's literally, you know, it's very hard.
It's
Do
like
Spotify pay?
purgatory. What's the
Do
place
Spotify
in
pay?
Spotify? Spotify pays. They're getting a little better. I'm making like $50 a month on Spotify. Yeah, and Spotify is actually great. So I make about $50 a month on Spotify. This time last year, I was making about $5 a month, and this time the year before, I was making about
What kind of
5 cents a
viewership
month.
do you get? Because I can't because they don't show viewerships on Spotify. So
Yeah.
sometimes I want to
Yeah.
see how many people views. No, they don't
So
come out
let's
because
pull up my Spotify data right now.
yeah, because you have to go where the money is. Unfortunately,
Yes.
as terrible as this seems to be, this is life. This
Yeah.
is how we have to feed ourselves.
I don't think it's terrible or good. I think it's just what it is. I don't really have any like. Sure, there's this idea. There's this naive romantic idea of, I don't give a shit about the money. I just want to put out art. And sure, that's true, but
Yeah.
I do pay rent. I drink water and I eat food, and gas goes in my car. It
Yep.
starts to
Yep.
get, and that doesn't mean you can't still be real, right? I got kicked from YouTube because, despite being an arrogant asshole, I actually do believe in, like, be real, be who you are, don't bend the knee, just fucking be original. Like, when you're dead, that's all
Mhm.
you have, is whether or not you are a real motherfucker. that being said, you can see the obsession over it doesn't make money. So Spotify, pull up Spotify right now. So right now I've got 2,703 subscribers on Spotify. I've got 164,154 views total from April 2020 till now. Today is, so I'll call it 164,000. So today's September 17th, 2022. Let's go back to September 7th, 2021. All right, you got that right there. I had 10,001 views this time last year. So I've gone up exponentially. I had 10,000 views this date last year. Now I'm at 164,000, and I could go back to even a year before that.
On the 1 year, on the full year.
Yeah, from April 2020 until September 17th, 2021, I had 10,001 views. From September 17th, 2021 until September 17th, 2022, I have a total of 164,000, which means I've gotten 154,000 in the last year. So it's going up 15-fold. It's gone up 1,500%.
Maybe I would suggest you can also create an account on YouTube again. Don't expect it to be monetized.
I have.
Can it be created? Can, right?
No.
You just post it.
They kicked me off. I've done it 6 separate times. They'll remove me.
They just close your account.
Oh yeah, straight up.
They just kick you off. What the fuck?
I'm IP banned from YouTube. I can't even log in. I can't log in on incognito mode on my iMac.
Can you change your IP?
I could, but at this point, I don't give a fuck. I'm just like,
what the hell do you offend, man?
I know.
How do you get?
Who did I fucking? Who did
you got even?
I didn't drop the beat on Epstein. I'm not fucking hanging out with Snowden. I'm not taking selfies with Trump. Who did I piss off?
Do you offend?
The highest levels of government.
Because all you need is just like, for example, let's say you can't be monetized. It's okay. If you can post even snippets. Like
I did that. I did that. My clip channel.
Yeah, and after that, you just send traffic to Spotify, and I think that would work perfectly.
So I did that under different names. Didn't work. I made a clips channel. And after like 20 uploads, they started giving me strikes for misinformation. But I wasn't even uploading the doctor episodes. It was just misinformation about I got a strike for misinformation about the Ukrainian war.
Can you change your name?
That's eventually what I'm. Well, that's phase 3 of my plan, is where I change my name to
Tommy Carrigan.
No. It's where I change my name to Miss Lim, and it's I am proud husband of a Wyatt, and I am now, I'm gay, and I don't like being censored, and I'm an expat, and I move in with you, and your family takes me in, and then if they censor me, it's racist, and they're bigoted. That's the only plan left. Wyatt is me popping the question.
Next time you try mix it with cat videos. One video of your stuff and one cat video, one your stuff.
I don't care. They've got me tagged. At this point, I'm just wasting my.
This is the first time I ever heard anyone got
I got IP banned I got IP banned from Reddit in summer 2020. Yeah.
Reddit.
Yeah, because I had 26 accounts, and they yeah.
Okay, this is your fault. You make it too easy for them.
Well, I had one account from 2010. I had an OG account, and they.
What the hell do you have 26 account?
Well, because I would just get angry that they kept banning me, and so I would just. But then I moved.
Okay.
And I think my IP.
I thought you have
I moved. I thought
you had 26 accounts. I thought you had 26 consecutive accounts, talking to yourself. I was like.
No, I had accounts for myself, but it was just there. Listen,
they keep kicking you, then you create new ones.
Yeah, they keep kicking me. I'm like, this wasn't me, and I'd respond with the wrong account, and fuck you.
I know you need to go on RuTube, the Russian YouTube.
I mean, this is where this ends: is me living with Snowden in Moscow. Just living.
Yeah. I start to suspect that might be the eventual endpoint of your life.
Yeah, it's the last podcast is me and Snowden. Me, Snowden, Julian Assange, and fucking Ghislaine Maxwell. That's the final episode.
Welcome to the TS podcast with Snowden and Tommy.
Episode 1000. Me, Ed Snowden, Alex Jones, and Donald Trump
Yeah.
coming at you live from a federal prison. Yeah.
And Placebo. Then after that, you also all start speaking Russian for the rest of the show.
Oh, yeah. And then they'll kill me, and then they'll come after you for being an associate. They'll start arresting every guest that's appeared. People will start, it'll be a masterclass in Nazi Germany. People will come out and start disavowing me that ever showed up on my podcast. A year before last year, sorry, I lost my
They will have to kill a lot of people, because there's so many
900
people that
plus.
went
Oh,
on,
yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's a big brain
That
move.
would be a massacre.
Well, it's a big
Yeah.
brain move because I've actually befriended a lot of the people who used to be CIA assassins. Like, no joke, like the former Delta Force guys that were in Ground Branch, like the most classified fucking, they're not even under the Department of Defense. They're under the CIA. They're under Title 50. I've befriended them. So the guys that they would use to kill me are my friends now. So, which they'll probably still kill me. They don't give a shit, but it would make it a little stickier. So now it's like, hey, you got to go kill this target. They'll be like, oh, dude, I've been on his podcast. I like him. They'll probably still kill me.
You're dead.
Yeah, they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. So to Spotify, 2 years ago on this date, I had almost 1,000 views. I had 981 views. So 1 year later, I went from, we'll call it 1,000 to 1 year later, I went to 10
per episode.
No. Total views.
Okay.
Across all episodes. So September 17th, 2020. I didn't start uploading till April that year. So in about 5 months, I got 981. We'll call it 1,000 views. 1 year later on that date, I had 10,001 views. 1 year later,
10 times.
I had 154. So 10 times and then 15 times.
So next year, you're going to have 1 million views.
Well, hopefully, because so this is showing actual data that's not really, it's not really altering. It is going up.
And I think it was nice is that Spotify is not in US. It's not the US company. Which is why that's they seem to be fighting a bit against this this leftist culture thing, because
they do.
They resisted calls to cancel
Rogan.
Joe Rogan. Yeah, so and I think that's very brave, because there is their own
100%.
employees trying to do this.
Usurp it from.
And I think he sacked. I think did they sack them? I think they were the boss
let a lot of them go.
You can fuck off, man. And I think that's the right way to do business. You shouldn't be held ransom by your own employee. It makes no sense. Yeah, but I don't know. This is a very American thing. I always realize that where the hell are these people keep trying to sabotage their own rice bowl for some ideology?
I don't understand.
And this always happen in United States, man. It's like these guys are paying your bills,
Yeah.
So
they don't. That's what I don't get is that Spotify. Where is it? Sweden, Switzerland, Norway? Where the fuck is it?
Let me check. I also don't know. I forgot.
I feel like it's in
Spotify.
Sweden.
Which country?
I feel like it's Sweden.
Swedish. Yeah, Swedish.
Yeah. An idyllic Nordic country. I guess my own stereotypes, I would go, yeah, that's the socialist country. But they're the ones who've got like the bald eagle on one arm and a fucking American flag in the other. And they're saying, no, not only do we not stand for censorship, we're also fucking ruthless capitalists. Like, that's what we should be. Instead, we got a bunch of fucking YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter faggots just bending over going, well, it's whatever the people want. If they think it's censorship. No, if you don't like it, change the channel. Like, don't watch it. It's fine. You don't have to like it.
Yeah.
If you don't like me because I say a word, faggot, retard, I understand those people don't like those. That's fine. You can vote with your hand, unsubscribe. Or maybe you go, I don't like his language. I don't like how often he says God damn or Jesus
watch it, man.
or swear. That's fine. And maybe they go, but I like the guests he has on. It doesn't that's fine. And I do, as you can tell, I do respond to actual data. I go, maybe I should stop swearing. Okay. Because I too am a capitalist pig. I'm responding to the market. But it's the saddest thing to see that. Because, dude, if you don't like it, don't watch it. That's the biggest way to hit it is stop watching it. Stop giving it ad money.
Yeah, but this weird employee culture in US, for example, the Twitter one, like the Twitter employees are against Elon Musk becoming owner. Yeah. That makes freaking no sense. It's like, why are you trying to antagonize your future boss? It's like,
since when do American corporations give a shit That's our fucking MO, is we don't care about the worker. That's what America is ruthless guys in 100-story skyscrapers in New York smoking a cigar. And when the workers revolt, you fire them. That's what we are.
Yeah.
Since when do you go, if I was 10 years old and went, you know what, Dad, I don't like who you are as a father, he'd throw me in the fucking street and my other 3 brothers would straighten up. He'd kick me out. He'd say, all right, go get fucked. You know, he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
You don't do that. If I when a guest emails me and goes, I didn't like that recent episode, I don't respond to them and they don't come on the show anymore. That's happened a couple times. I won't say who, but they maybe come on and they go, I was really turned off by this episode.
You should reply that you're too free, man. Why are you watching my other episodes?
Yeah. Why are you giving me no, it's cool. I just don't respond and I just don't invite him back.
Because for a reality, I have no time to watch other people's YouTube or
I have none.
Interview. Like I didn't even watch a single of your other shows. I didn't even watch the one that I'm interviewed on you. No, it's like I'm so busy doing all sorts of things. The last thing I want to do is like, no, I only want to watch things that I can get more information. I don't have really much time to. If I really want entertainment, I'll be watching, gamers, people, playing games. Then what the hell are you watching more of Tommy when you are a guest on the show? Because you should be, if he interviews you, you must be somebody. You must be so busy. Why the hell are you so free?
Yeah, no, 100%. I listen to Tim Dillon. He's a comedian. I listen to him towards the end of the day because he makes me laugh. In the morning, from when I wake up, go to the gym, and come back, got about 2 hours. That's when I listen to audiobooks, so I'm learning. After that, man, maybe I'll lay in bed for an hour before I go to bed. Then I'll scroll through YouTube. I do listen to documentaries there. I use it like an audiobook. And I'll click on yours every once in a while if I'm like messaging you. I'll just click on it and I'll message it. I'll text you and I'll just be like, the cursing offensive, like the Uber Grupa Supa Duba offensive. Like it's because I don't have time. It's not that you don't have a great channel. I just don't have fucking time. If you told me that you were watching every one of my episodes, I'd be very upset. I'd be like, Wyatt, I thought you were cooler than that. Don't watch my channel. Why are you wasting your time? Well, fuck. If that would make me uncomfortable. If you're like, I just watched 3 of your episodes, I'd be like, why? Why?
Yeah. Why am I idolizing you?
Yeah, what the fuck? Like, do you have like a picture of me? Are you just, like an idol?
I'll leak like every day.
It's made of like my hair and like old band-aids, and you're like, it's like, hey, remember that show, Hey Arnold? Did you ever watch Hey Arnold?
No.
Growing up?
I have no life. I only watch Marvel movies.
Oh no, this was back in the 90s. This was back in the 90s. It was Hey Arnold, and there was a girl that had a crush on him.
Oh, Hey Arnold.
Helga Pataki. And this was, I used to watch this when I was like 9, 10. And she had a weird like statue of him in her closet that was made out of his hair, his gum, like one of his gym socks. Now that I look back at it, that was not appropriate for a kid's show. But she had like a fucking voodoo doll of him, which was very odd. It was creepy. And I think she had like multiple iterations of it too. She had like older statues. What a psych. I'm just not realizing. Oh, it's fucking creepy. But that's what Wyatt has of me. He has, it's made of me.
Shh, cannot tell people our secret.
Yeah. Wyatt actually works with YouTube, and he got me kicked off so that I'd be on Rumble so that he could come on here and sympathize with me and commiserate.
You got me.
I got you. Hey, Wyatt, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. Tell him where to find your channel and all that shit.
Okay. So hello everyone. This is Wyatt from Defense Politics Asia. And so we have DPA now have multiple channels on YouTube. So the main channel is at youtube.com/Defense Politics Asia. So you just search Defense Politics Asia, it will come out. It's a very high search term. So no worries, you will find the channel. And there is multiple other channels. There is a DPA Gaming, which I haven't really posted much of anything, which is meant to publish me playing games and playing games with the community. There is a DPA IRL, so youtube.com/DPA IRL. So there is in real life. So basically, I do more opinionated stuff or interviews with the community, like podcasts with the community, and on all sorts of other things that is not appropriate for a news channel, it will be there. And I also have another channel called DPA Analytics. So this one is actually more to put news or information that is more data driven. And I have only posted one video, so I will work harder. And there's also one more channel called DPA Talks or Talk, DPA Talk, TALK. So this is actually meant for think something like this. The last interview with Tommy is actually on the channel. On that channel, is recorded from my perspective, and there is also my other interviews with other people, on other podcasts is also there. So DPA Talk. So there's the 5 channels, and if you can also find the main channel stuff on Odyssey and Rumble, which is I still highly recommend you to just watch it on YouTube, because I earn money from there. So everything, so Odyssey and Rumble, yeah, it's only for those that they really like to live in the hermit world of Odyssey or hermit world of Rumble, and they really hate YouTube for whatever reason. So
Listen,
yeah,
it's those websites are for if you want to mix your David Icke and interdimensional lizards with Pizzagate Sacrifice and also watch a podcast. That's what those are for. It's the wild west.
Odyssey is not that bad, right? Odyssey seems to have a lot of entertaining stuff. I think it's just that I don't like that they give me monopoly money, which I have no idea how to change to real money.
I have no idea either. I've got like 300 of their coins. I don't know what they are.
How many do I have?
I thought you could use it because like it costs like 0.001 coins to like upload a video. Okay. But I've got like 300 coins. And then I think
got like
theoretically
89.
Oh, theoretically, I think you're supposed to be able to use the coins to like give one of your episodes more viewership. It like gets ranked up, but it's never worked for me. Because I've dumped all of the coins into one episode before. Nothing happened.
It doesn't. So it sounds like the work for publicity kind of the scam.
Yeah.
I need you to help me do
you do this. Logo. I'll give you 2 coins. I'll get 1 more coin, and if you hire 3 people to do.
No, it's like in the design world, in the graphic design world, we always have this, or art community for that matter. We always have this work for publicity kind of thing. So for example, there's always these people that always want to scam artists or designers. They'll say that, can you help me do this artwork? It will be on this place. I'm sure it's very good for your publicity, very good for your portfolio. So tell us to work for free for publicity. So it's the work for publicity kind of thing. And then young designers or young artists, they are still not so experienced. They will think that this is a great opportunity, to gain some publicity. And what they do not know is that they got scammed for doing free work. And I personally encountered that before as well. So when I was much younger, nowadays, anyone ask me, how much to do this, when I put up the numbers, so expensive. Then I will just tell them, just go to freelancer.com, look for some Pakistani or some used to have Ukrainians, or you can find Russians, they will be a lot cheaper, or Filipinos. Yeah. So this is just a kind of like fucked up thing that always happen to designers and artists. They always, especially people who draw, they always say, can you help me draw this thing? There's like, then they will expect you to do it for free.
Yeah.
There's like, what?
I did graphic design for a couple of years, and I got suckered into those because you're like, oh, I'm gonna get publicity, and then you realize you're like, I just did free fucking work. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Yeah, no, it's retarded. Well, Wyatt, I've already kept you for an hour, and I said I wouldn't keep you for longer than an hour. I mean, we can.
I think go for another hour.
Okay. All right. Well, an hour and 5 minutes.
I'm already very awake now because the caffeine has kicked in.
Yeah, I'll jack
my coffee. I still have coffee.
You got the hatred for Rumble is brewing. It's much like your coffee too is brewing inside of you, and it's getting you energized.
It's not hatred. I just feel.
I don't hate Rumble. I'm just angry that the podcast isn't.
I just feel disappointed for Rumble because I thought that they have a lot of potential.
They have so much.
Looking at the viewership, is worse than is same as Odyssey, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
it's the same as Odyssey. But at least Odyssey, I get monopoly money.
Yeah, at least they
I
give
don't
me
think I get a single cent from
Rumble.
how much. Oh, I found my total account in Rumble got 45 cents.
Yeah, it took me 2 years to break, I think, 10 cents. And that, yeah, like what? I mean, I also, well, one, I have no alternative. So that's how good of a negotiator I am. Is I have no alternative, and I'm very open about being banned from YouTube. Rumble has no reason to give me the 3 seconds of their time, but
yeah,
I don't know. I'll never stop criticizing. I don't think it's too much to ask for to just not censor. That's just, who knows? Maybe it is. Maybe if I started a video platform company, maybe I'd come back to me in 10 years and go, yeah, it's different than you think. It's you do got to censor. I don't know.
I wonder, I think you should try, every half a year, try to create a new account and see, when does YouTube stop censoring you.
I don't give it. I'm fuck them. I don't care.
Yeah, I can share one a bit embarrassing thing that I've ever done. So last time when I had a blog, so I was like, no, I want to earn passive income, Then I actually registered AdSense, and then I put a hell lot of advertisement on my blog. Because nobody knows what the hell is happening, right? Because that was like 20 years ago. No, not so long. Maybe maybe around 20 years ago. So no, like 15 years ago. So 15 years ago. So I was like, thinking of like, see how do I do this passive income? Then after that, I decided to, hey, I can click on my own ads, right? So I said, hey, there's some impact, that you see like a few cents, and like click. Yeah, I got banned by Google.
Yeah.
So,
oh, come on, Wyatt.
After
that's
no, I was young and stupid then. So I was blacklisted for a very long time. Really, I was like banned from AdSense for a very, very long time. I think I got released from their jail from maybe a few years ago, I guess. So maybe the kind of like the jail is like maybe 10 years. So the blacklist lasts around there, perhaps. So I was quite lucky. So when I realized I can create a new AdSense account, I was like, whoa, I'm out. They finally stopped blacklisting me.
Do you know what I did to get past the 4,000 view hours? Is I didn't do it from my computers because I was like, they're gonna figure that out. So instead, I would make a playlist of like my 10 longest episodes, and I would just text it to friends and family, and like 50 people. I'd be like, hey, when you go to bed, put this on shuffle on like an iPod Touch you don't use anymore. Mute it and just go plug it in. And I did that.
You just found out why you are banned from YouTube.
Well, no, because I did it with people all across the nation. So it was different IP address. It wasn't me. I didn't fucking do anything. And they didn't ban me for that.
But there is unusual traffic. So
why would they ban me for that? That shows incentive. That shows I've got some gusto. I'm willing to go out there, and that's how you survive in the corporate world, right? Is fucking slit throats and break wrists.
Because so what I understand from you, what YouTube does is that they actually study the algorithm.
Yeah,
so they actually there is a yours. If you do that, that is very abnormal.
Yeah, no, it's a red flag. But I did that. I did that probably a year and a half before. I did that. I was doing that spring 2020, and then I stopped by summer because I hit the mark, and then I got banned 13 months later. So I don't. So like they would have acted on it. Yeah. I don't know.
You're not big enough for them to realize. I guess.
They didn't give a shit. They probably realized, and they're like, "Fuck this kid. Who cares? Fuck this retard." I don't know, man. I don't know. So to kind of pivot wildly, was the Cursing Offensive a psyop or a misinformation camp? What was it? I really don't pay attention to it anymore.
Okay, so no viewers, finally welcome.
Finally, we are here.
This podcast.
We've been initiated.
After 1 hour.
We are here now. We've reached it. We're hiding behind an hour of bullshit.
Yeah, that was a pre-show.
That was one big advertisement. That was one big advertisement for I don't even know
for anti-rumble advertisement.
Yes. Yeah.
So the Cursing Offensive is a real offensive. It's just that they didn't manage to go very far, but they do capture quite a number of villages or settlements. But the Russians managed to react fast enough to make sure that it did not become a avalanche. And the Ukrainians are still keeping some of this territory that they actually captured in this Kherson offensive. Then they are still trying to push. The Kherson offensive is actually not over. So it's not like what the pro-Russians people are saying that that's a failure. It's not a failure. I mean, that's how Ukraine have to fight. They have no choice. They have to sacrifice a lot of soldiers because they just don't have the same level of artillery and air support. So the only thing is it's just infantry rush and maybe armor rush. That's what they can do. So that's what they did. A lot of people die, but they captured some grounds. And the Russians are lucky that they actually barely managed to hold the line, but they got pushed back. So it's not an entire failure. In fact, there was a story came out. There was this quote came out in one of the pro-Russian Telegram channels. So it was a comment or message from one of the militia. I think he's from Donetsk People's Republic, and he was on the ground. So he was saying that the attack from the Ukrainians are extremely heavy. There is drones all the time. There's always drone in the air looking at them, and they're always targeted by artillery. The only reason they are holding on was because of the Russian Air Force. The Russian Air Force, came in and took out, all these attacking troops or the artilleries or whatever. That is the only reason they are holding on to their positions. If not, they would have been overrun by the Ukrainian forces. So that's how close the fight is. It's actually very, very close. It's not what the pro-Russian the crazies, because both sides are crazies, not the pro-Russian crazies like to think, like, oh, they are so powerful, the Ukrainians are shit. It's not that. The Ukrainians actually put out a very good offensive. It's just that the Russians just barely managed to hold on because they have air superiority. And what I learned also in this war is that there is a huge difference between an airstrike and artillery bombardment. Airstrike is way more scarier to the soldier on the ground than artillery bombardment.
Why is that?
I think the bomb is bigger, if I'm not wrong.
I feel like you could at least maybe hear. Sorry to interrupt. I feel like you could maybe at least hear the plane. Artillery, you wouldn't know until it's there.
So the thing is that the plane, when they fly past, because you hear them, you actually get panic attack because you don't know if the bomb is going to hit you.
Gotcha.
So it's a bit like the World War II Junker.
The buzz bomb, or I was going to say the original V1, right?
The dive bomb, right? The dive bomber. So when they dive, you have the whistle, right? Yeah, the Stuka.
The horns of Jericho.
So yeah, so it's something to take kind of effect. So every time the planes come, the enemy actually freak out because they do not know if the plane is going to hit them next. Whereas they are so used to artillery because every day there's artillery. So they know that most of the time the artillery doesn't kill them, as long as they are in the trenches. So they are more afraid of the aircraft. It seems to be that case, to me at least. And this story is just an excerpt. I'm not sure how real it is, but it does suggest that the war is actually a lot closer at the Kherson offensive. So, but they managed to hold the line because they have been anticipating the Kherson offensive for some time. So they have been reinforcing their part. But what breaks was in Kharkiv Oblast, where what I call the Balaklia offensive, that one broke the entire defense line. The Russians doesn't seem to have enough defense or troops in that area, and then the Ukrainians managed to have a breakthrough, and then they routed the entire Russian military to the next defense line, which is behind the Oskil River. And I think currently they are also getting penetrated through the river area now. I think the last rumor that I saw was that they already captured Kupiansk, which is actually one of the major hub that is on the river. So the city is actually cut into two, like the Circlejerk in the Lord of the Ring, where they actually two parts on the river in the center. So previously the eastern part is still held by the Russian, the western part is held by the Ukrainians. So the last thing I saw on Twitter, like people is still trying to verify this. If it's true, is that the eastern side is now taken by the Ukrainians. So if that is true, then the Ukrainians will be able to spread out again and capture a lot of grounds. And so let's see, what the Russians will react. So I'm just a comment. I'm just a spectator.
Yeah, and then of course everyone thinks that you're a Russian
Russian, right?
shill. Yeah, it's
Yeah, they keep asking. They keep thinking that I got paid in rubles, or the Russian government paid me.
hey, if you
There's
were
like,
getting paid in rubles for propaganda, you wouldn't be worried about that YouTube paycheck. And if you were getting paid by them in rubles, everyone would know because I'd stop interviewing anybody, and every day I'd be covering the war, and this flag would be a Russian flag, and I'd be getting paid in rubles.
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's
Russia is very terrible at propaganda. To be honest, they are very bad at information warfare. That's why that if anyone actually watches Russia Today, RT, for the past many years, you realize that they are really bad at it in terms of like propaganda. All they do is just report the news, at least for RT. So there's a few difference between all the different Russian media. So RT actually reports news. Everything they report actually checks out. They are all real news. Like they are all facts. The only thing is that they choose what to report, and then they actually put a different angle to it, so that it actually demonizes whoever they want to demonize, and maybe make Russia looks better. So that's RT. If you go to Sputnik, then Sputnik will be like a lot more rubbish. Okay. There's a lot more wrong information. RT is actually very factual, so it's perfect to watch them for like more neutral stuff, like maybe the Syrian war. You actually get information about Syria. No, you don't get information because like Syrian war last time, so when it was still going on with the ISIS and whatnot, the Western media just gave up on it because it's so boring. But RT was still reporting it. They will actually have a correspondent on the ground. So it's interesting, you get to see, what was actually happening. They still continue to keep people reminded that the Donbass was still happening, the civil war, the Ukrainian civil war. They went in to interview the civilians, and then they try to go close to the front line to let you show you the devastations. So you get some perspective. So like the Ukraine war, no one actually remembers about the civil war until Russia invaded. So a lot of hypocrites around, as far as I can tell. Yeah. But if no one is going to get brainwashed by Russia, to be honest, the level of like propaganda, misinformation is very poor. So when Trump, they say Trump won because of Russian misinformation, was like, who the hell do you watch your news from? Why the people who will vote for Trump will vote for Trump? Sure. They don't get misinfo.
And it's not even that. It's that deep down we're all hypocrites. It's not that the people voting for Biden are unaware of ties to Ukraine or China. It's that deep down they don't care, and vice versa. It's not that people that vote for Trump are unaware of saying grab them by the pussy or alleged rape allegations. It's that deep down they don't care. That's what it is. And what you try to do is then project it on others and be like, but they're double crossing. But I think deep down we all there are probably some people who are getting tricked. I think most people deep down really don't give a shit. They just they just don't care.
True.
And if you could maybe enlighten me. So obviously I'm coming at this from an American centric viewpoint, but I look back at, let's say, World War II is exceptional. That was total war. There was nothing being held back, including nuclear weapons, because we detonated the first one on July 16th, 1945. That evening, we started shipping over components to Tinian Island that day. Detonated it that morning, and we went, cool, Gucci, it works. Send it over, right? You get to Korea. You have MacArthur asking Truman for permission to detonate 50 atomic bombs along the Korean border.
In China.
Truman says no.
He said he want to bomb Tianjin, Beijing. They just want to bomb up all the major cities.
MacArthur was insane. But you could see he came from 5 years prior a world of total war, right? Patton wanted to go all the way to the Soviet Union. You see
And
what
maybe
Truman,
10 years from now, people will look back and think that MacArthur should have done it.
I think if people still think he should have. I think you ask some old timers, they're like, he still should have, right? I mean, people still say
Yeah.
Patton should have gone all the way to the Soviet Union. I interviewed George Patton's granddaughter, and she brought that up. But so let me see Vietnam, and there's obviously the idea of at this point it wasn't even A bombs, we had hydrogen bombs. I mean, and we just detonate them over Vietnam. And they wouldn't do it. McNamara wouldn't do it. We came up with the madman theory, Kissinger did, and it was to leak documents and say over unencrypted comms that the Joint Chiefs of Staff couldn't control Nixon, and they were scared he was going to use the H bomb, and we can't stop him. That didn't work. But even there, you could see where we didn't go right. We did, but there's Rolling Thunder, Linebacker 2, the bombing campaigns, right? We used Agent Orange and about 9 other agents, lesser known. We did all sorts of things. We did Operation Phoenix, which is the CIA use of terror. I mean, literal terror. But that when we lost over 10 years, right? The botched escape from Saigon. Then you have Grenada, you have Desert Storm. Desert Storm is like a great propaganda win. And then we go over to Afghanistan and Iraq, and we almost get bin Laden very early, right? Was it Tora Tora or Bora Bora, whichever the fuck? We almost get him. But then we go there and we're nation building. We've got MRAPs and we've got drones and we've got, the biometric programs where we're documenting everyone, and we have all this propaganda, probably stuff that's not going to be declassified for 30, 50 years. But deep down, if we really want, and again, from an American centric point of view, not right or wrong, probably wrong, but if we wanted to, on September 11th, 2001, by 8 p.m., we would have notified Russia and China, and we would have dropped a bunch of H bombs from orbit on Afghanistan and Iraq, or Afghanistan, not Iraq, right? But we didn't, and we left over 20 years. So those are instances of where you could argue, again, as an American, you can see my slant. I'm saying, well, we could have done it, but we didn't, right? Who knows? Maybe we couldn't have. But theoretically, we could have. Probably to a bad view on the world stage, you H-bombed a bunch of Afghani farmers, but you could have done it. So when I look at like Russia and Ukraine, I have to wonder, is it the same thing? How come Russia's not just demolishing Ukraine? Is it because it would just look so bad that they can't use H bombs? And so much like America getting our asses kicked by a bunch of farmers in Afghanistan or rice farmers in Vietnam, is that the price you pay for not going total war? And it's probably good. It's probably an evolution of humanity that we don't do total war anymore.
Because my point of view is that people forget that Russia is still a democracy. As much as you can deny it, they have elections. So it's just that they have one party that is dominating the politics, but they did not have the kind of dominance like the People's Action Party in Singapore, where they have like 90% of the seats. It's not that kind of domination, but it's still a huge majority. It's still a democracy. So Putin still have to act within the law. So it's not he's not a dictator in that sense. He just bend the rules a little bit to make sure that he can continue to keep the country together. Because as far as I can tell, Russia is only being kept together because of Putin. Without Putin, it's another Ukraine. It's just a very, very big Ukraine. So in terms of this Ukraine war, Russia had tremendous restraint. And he just showed it over the past week, where they bombed all the power plants, half of Ukraine's power plants. He just bombed all of them, and then they caused a massive blackout in Ukraine. And then more recently, he just bombed 2 dams. So, and then they caused flooding in Kryvyi city, and the entire river downstream has bloated. Not sure it will actually subside. Probably will, because it's just a temporary thing, I guess, because it was previously dammed up. That's all. So Putin also said as much. He said that recent actions is just you can take it as he just said that you can take it as it's like a warning, because he's trying to warn against Ukraine from attacking civilian infrastructure, and he said, and to him is that if you can, we can do it too. We just never do it. And I also highlight to my viewers, this is exactly what everyone has expected Russia to do, to hit all the power plants right in the beginning of the war. In the first week of the war, hit all the power plants. And that's what the Americans do. That's what NATO do. In Yugoslavia, the NATO just bomb up all the power plants. When US invaded Iraq, that's what they do
Desert
also. They bomb
Storm.
out all the power plants. Yeah. Because that's a natural thing to do in war,
Yeah.
because that will heavily disrupt the entire
Everything.
military operation on the defender side. Because without electricity, everything is a mess. Traffic will be in the total mess. Then your military vehicles can't really move. Your hospital is not working. Everybody cannot communicate. If you cannot use cell phones, all sorts of things can happen. When you take out all the power plants. And Russia just took it out, just as a warning after they got routed in the Kharkiv Oblast. After they went into the defensive position along the Oskil River, then they bombed the hell out of this. Bombed the hell of all the power plants, just as a warning, which is a show that the Russians have not even tried to go into a total war stance. This is just a warning. I don't think they will do more for now from the way how Putin put it. I think he will still look at what the Ukrainians do, and they will escalate according to what Ukraine is doing. But tentatively, the Russian operations, I think a lot of people don't really understand what the hell is happening actually, because the Russian forces is ceding ground very quickly, and they obviously have more troops that they can deploy, which they are not deploying. So if you ask me, I also don't know why. But like I said, he's showing a lot of restraint. He's trying not to escalate it bigger, because that it's also a trap. Not that they can't win in the war, but it's also a trap, because the Western powers, US, NATO, or UK, they're all expecting Russia to go all in. But Putin purposely do not go all in. They only declare a military operation. And so he limited himself in terms of only X number of troops. And most of the regular forces is not deployed. So they continue to hold this deterrence force across the entire border with Europe, which means that NATO don't really have an opening. So it keeps the balance of power between NATO and Russia. So that's what he's doing. And the thing is that declaring war on Ukraine also is going to be politically very expensive. So Putin is not going to risk it unnecessarily. The support for mobilization for war seems to be growing in Russia because of the Kharkiv route. Because people is like thinking, what the hell this happened? They feel very humiliated, I guess, and they feel very angered by this, and they also feel very angry with the rhetoric coming out from Kiev, because Zelensky is saying that we will not negotiate until we have liberated all of our lands, including Crimea. Then the Russian citizens hear this and they feel very unhappy. So the support for war is growing in Russia exactly because of Zelensky and his leadership's rhetoric. So maybe that's what the long game Putin is playing. So that could be also it. And Russia is not in a rush because they want the Europe to collapse from to have an economic collapse due to the energy crisis, which is currently getting worse and worse. So that's the game. Putin is playing. He's playing the long game. Zelensky is playing the short game. Zelensky is just trying to win the war as fast as they can, but I don't think they can sustain the war the moment the West stop providing ammunition and weapon, because the Russians still have their entire industrial base working. They can easily militarize it, build more weapons just like in Soviet Union time. So, but I don't think the Ukrainians can build anything without getting missile strike. So, let's see how it goes.
Great answer. And again, to anyone listening, yeah, Wyatt's not a Russian shill, and I don't give a shit. I mean, war's bad and it's terrible. People are dying. All that shit aside, all those disclaimers, I don't care. I don't care. So it's always very weird when I see people who are like fanboying for one side or the other. I don't. I truly, sure, it's sad, but I also don't care. So, why? How come? Right? Because I know the United States did it when we were in Desert Storm, right? Uh, Ben Rich, the former CEO of Lockheed Martin Skunk Works, talks about it in his book Skunk Works, about how like the F-117 Nighthawks were being used, and how they were watching like the news or something. There's like a CNN reporter there, and all the engineers are in a room watching it, and some military officials with them. And he goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then the news feed cuts because that's exactly when they were bombing the power stations. Something as kind of minimal as that, not total war nuking and dropping chemical weapons, but just something almost necessary. There's some necessary things to the podcast. I turn the lights on, I make sure I have a bottle of water, basic things, or Milo, or coffee. Is how come they didn't do that from the beginning then? Was it just a flex to say, look, we can do it?
Partly.
And why
But the
only
thing is,
50%?
so I try to explain to people, what is actually happening. There's a lot of theories out there, people defending Russia, people demonizing Russia, whatnot. So it's like I put the example. For example, we go and watch a movie. So maybe Top Gun is on, right? So let's go and watch Top Gun, And but we are not booking the the tickets online. We're going to go buy the tickets there, right? So we go there, but we make a plan. So let's say if it's sold out, or it doesn't have the timing that we want, or no seats, no good seats, no. Shall we will the secondary plan, we maybe watch another movie, or we just go bowling, something like this. So and then if the bowling alley is all full, let's just go and eat. Just fuck it, just eat. Okay, so we go to the restaurant. So that's the plan. So the Russians came in similar with something to this extent. Okay, first we'll rush to Kiev. We'll pressure Kiev into a negotiation and end the war immediately, end the civil war immediately, force them to threaten them into a negotiation. So because your capital city is surrounded, and then the Russians, in a space of a day or two, captured 30%, 40% of your land. So maybe that will pressure Zelensky into a negotiation and end this civil war once and for all. So that is the first plan. But if it doesn't work, then okay, then our troops will remain in Kiev, and then they'll act as a diversionary force. We'll draw Ukrainian forces away from the eastern front, so that they will have to engage the Russians in the northern front and the southern front, so that we can have more time and space for the Russian forces to capture Mariupol and to push from the south and do a flanking movement, link up with the southern invasion force, and then push northward. So, and that will actually go around the defenses, the entrenched line that was established during the Civil War. So that is probably the plan. So you have the first one is the intimidation into a quick victory, with which is like watching the movie. So if the movie doesn't happen, then we go to the second plan, which is just as a diversionary force. So that what happened. So then after that, okay, then they will definitely have a plan, say, okay, but we do not have enough troops. We did only deploy a limited number of troops, maybe 200,000 and max 250,000 troops. But we have such a big front. We have a northern front, southern front, eastern front. So, okay, so if we cannot hold the defense, maybe the Ukrainians are going to mobilize and going to form up enough forces to pressure us. Okay, we will just withdraw from the northern front. Something like this. So this is exactly part of the plans that the Russians are doing, and it's not just one plan, which is what a lot of analysts or people are always talking about. Say that the Ukrainians beaten the Russians in the northern front. It's not beaten. It's half that. Is that the Russians had always planned to leave should they be overwhelmed, but should the Ukrainians never overwhelm them, then they will be there even until today. So the same thing happened in the Kharkiv Oblast. In the Balaklia offensive, the Russians withdraw because they cannot hold the line anymore. The Ukrainians have a breakthrough, so just leave to the next defense line. So that's what the Russians do. It's not about it's not so singular. There's just one plan and then we must stick to it. If it goes off, then it's a failure. It's not. it's just like how we make plans on our own activities. You know, you have first choice, second choice, third choice, fourth choice. Anything happen, we just do something else. That's what the Russians are doing. But their ultimate objective doesn't change. Is the capture of the entire Donbass to liberate the two self-proclaimed republics, and they also want to capture the entire southern provinces, the Zaporizhia and Kherson region, where they want to link up. They have a land link to Crimea, and that is important because in the Kherson region they have the hydro power plant, which actually provides electrical and power to Crimea, which is why they want to capture it. And it actually, going along the Dnieper River allows them to have a better defensive position. So that's the kind of thing that they do. And they wanted the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant so that they can power the entire region without them needing to build new power plants. So which is why, we have this Zaporizhia nuclear power plant crisis now, where the Ukrainians keep bombarding it. But then Ukrainians say that it's the Russians that bombarded themselves. So, this kind of thing is happening because, the Russians also wanted more, perhaps to pay for this entire military operation. That's why they wanted the southern part. But the Ukrainians continue to attack, so it makes it really difficult to really officialize it as a Russian territory. I think the people there don't feel safe, especially they see what's happening in Kharkiv, where the Russians are seen leaving the people behind. And then there are alleged reports that some of the people that is seen as collaborators got killed or arrested or disappeared. So the people in the southern side, in the Zaporizhia region, Kherson region, are nervy, I guess. They're not so sure if the Russians will stay forever. But the good thing for them is that they can get Russian passport, so they can leave. So they are processing a Russian passport for them. It's like a speed up version of the normal procedure. So it's still a big mess because it's a war situation. The economy is in tatters in those regions. So even the Russians trying to capture and control this area, the reality is administratively it's very complicated. The economy is totally broken. The supply chain is totally broken. Power is out now because the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant is shut down now because the Russians cannot guarantee the safety of the nuclear power plant, so they turn it off. So the hydro power plant at Nova Kakhovka also is, I think, not sure if it's entirely turned off, but because it always keep getting bombarded by the HIMARS, by the United States multiple launch rocket system. So the Russians did not have it easy as well, but they also they made it difficult for themselves because they are fighting with one hand behind their back. So, but it's a Putin thing, you see. If you look at even the Syrian conflict or whatever thing that he has been doing, he always try to not overdo it. It's not like the Americans, they were like, you freaking Taliban, and they send in the huge military and then bombard the hell, use a multi-million-dollar bomb to kill one single terrorist.
Like a tent, yeah.
Russia don't do that. Russia they don't do crazy stuff like this. So everything is very calculated under Putin, at least. After Putin, I don't know.
Do you
think? Are you falling asleep?
No. I'm trying to think because this is completely out of my wheelhouse. So for Ukraine, do you think the United States actually wants to see Ukraine win, or is this a proxy and we're just loving the chance to bleed Russia dry? And or do you think Russia is looking at Ukraine and saying we don't need to go all out right now, just grind them down, war of attrition, and in February of next year, then they'll ramp it up?
My
Obviously,
point of view is
all opinion and speculation.
My opinion is that the Biden administration simply wants to earn money from it. Maybe the ties to the military-industrial complex is encouraging them to
spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
it's the United States military-industrial complex.
Yeah, is trying to they wanted this war so that they can sell weapons, because if the world under Trump was too peaceful, because for as far as I can understand, Trump's era is the most peaceful period in world affair. That there's the there's the minimum number of conflict and fighting all around the world. Like there's one point in Trump's administration, there's very one specific point where there's totally no war, like zero, no fighting all around the world. Like nothing is happening.
Yeah, you got North
Like
Korea and
even
South
all
Korea
the
to shake hands. Like
yeah, and
they
then
don't like
like
that.
even
They don't like that.
even the Yemeni or whatever, now everyone is quiet. They're like on the standoff. No one is fighting. In Syria, everybody, like because of the Russian help, this ISIS just got defeated. Then the the Syrian rebels got defeated. Then everybody just held the line. No one is actually, really fighting. Palestine and Israel is also peaceful. It's like very quiet for most cases. And it was like, wow, for once I felt that there is world peace. Like,
Yeah,
because there was never a case where, in the time in history, there's nothing is happening.
no new
But that
wars.
very moment, I was asking on Facebook. I have a Facebook group where we talk about military and geopolitics and stuff. I was like, I said, aren't this weird? No, for the first time, there's actually no fighting happen, no active, no warfare happening. So after I think the Trump era actually, frustrates the military industrial complex.
Oh yeah.
So they need they need something to happen, and then Biden. I'm not sure if Biden actually making decisions, but Afghanistan didn't work out. Probably the way how the military industrial complex wanted, because he's trying to do this, epic, 9/11 we will withdraw from Afghanistan, and then the whole thing just fucked up. I think because of the deal that Trump made with the Taliban. I think the Trump made the Taliban say, we promise you this date we'll leave. If I'm not the president and this date comes, you can do whatever you want. I've released all your Taliban soldiers from the prison. Do whatever you want. If I'm not the president.
Yeah.
If I'm the president, you'll be there. So the kind of thing. Maybe he won the Taliban against this, and the Taliban say, "All right, you got a deal."
Yeah.
Then after that, Trump is not the president. Then the Taliban say, "All right, so it's free for all now." Then they started to attack, and then the Biden is like in this half asleep kind of status where he's not sure what to do with Afghanistan. He's September 11 is still far away, and so he do not know when to withdraw. And then they got defeated, and then the Afghan army doesn't exist. This kind of thing. So, but that is no good for the military industrial complex. There's still not enough money. Trump tried to make them happy by selling a lot of weapons to Saudi Arabia and other countries, but it's still not enough. So Ukraine seems to be a perfect chance. So and it's easy to blame the Russians for it, because they know that they put Russia into a very difficult situation where Russia can't really step away from it. They have to do something, and the rhetoric got so bad that the Russians put out an ultimatum. Either you say that Ukraine will never join NATO, or you'll act accordingly. And then Biden administration's answer is it is Ukraine's right to decide their own foreign policy. Same thing happened at NATO, and then Ukraine is like, yeah, we want to join NATO, and then then came the invasion. So for America, so now USA actually have the land lease, so that's great. They are able to earn stupid amount of money selling super overpriced weapons and ammunition, which Ukraine would never reject, because Ukraine needs it. So it's like one bullet. Oh, that's $100 per bullet. Whatever, just give it to me.
Yeah.
Because to Zelensky, he will not be the one that is going to repay all these things.
Of course
because
not.
Repayment, you'll be you're talking about decades of repayment. Zelensky is going to outlive that.
So they're not going to repay.
It's not going to be.
They're going to end up giving us like mining rights or something instead of paying.
So
it's oldest playbook.
Yeah, it's not his problem anyway, and he'll probably if let's say he survived the war, he will be kicked out as a president, and then he will just enjoy his life. But it's not his problem. No point not taking the weapons at this overpriced rate, and then you lose the entire country. So just take it, And then the debt, you think about the debt later. So that's Ukraine's mindset, and so everyone is happy. Military industrial complex is happy. Biden is happy because they managed to make these military contractors happy. sending all the weapons means unlimited money. That means lend-lease, where you can actually give unlimited amount of ammunition and weapons to Ukraine, and then you can kind of like is better than subprime. You can get the money like forever. It always be coming like for like if they package this into a financial investment, I think a lot of people will buy it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
toxic assets.
Yeah. It's like it's not toxic, it's just bloody assets. And then just give all the weapons. So and then at the same time they can actually weaken Russia. So make Russia weaker, let them have more soldiers die, waste their advanced weaponry, waste their ammunition. And who knows, it might collapse Russia, if Russia do not manage this conflict well, because war is always dangerous for any country. The politically is actually very expensive. So if you do not win the war, then you will collapse internally. Putin might be overthrown. Maybe there's a coup. Maybe election, he got voted out. All sort of shit can happen. So there's a lot of upside for America to want to have a war in Ukraine, and especially if Russia got stuck in Ukraine, like Afghanistan situation, or even the Iraq situation where Russia wins the war, but there's endless insurgency, the country can never rebuild properly, then that is still beneficial to the United States. So that's my point of view.
Do you think?
But US don't want Ukraine to win the war. There's no point.
No, of course
because
not.
Ukraine winning the war means nuclear war. So that will not happen. And
yeah, you're right. And
which is why
sales end. Yeah.
Which is why you see US never sent M1 Abrams. They only sent the HIMARS and the M270 so that it can balance the playing field a bit, so that Ukraine can hit the supply chain, the supply depots at the rear, so that it makes life very difficult for the Russians, but they don't give them the critical weapons to allow Ukraine to win the war.
We're not giving them the F-22s and the M1 Abrams. You don't get those. We'll give you a little bit, but you don't get the goodies.
Yeah.
You don't get the goodies.
Yeah. It's like sending you to the front line, but don't give you a rifle, an assault rifle. But we give you a top grade body armor. Yeah. So make sure that you don't die.
Make sure you don't die. Plenty of MREs.
But then you can only use a pistol to fight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking evil. It's evil. Yeah, that's evil. Yeah, that's evil.
And it's weird that a lot of people don't seem to be seeing it, because it's so obvious to me. And it's so obvious even before the war started. I was like warning, please don't. This is a stupid war to fight. You don't have to have this war happening. Just agree. You can just lie to Putin. Just say, oh, okay, we will not accept NATO forever. Then after Putin stepped down, you can say, all right, we can now accept NATO, Ukraine into NATO. You have avoided the entire war. Yeah. But you see, they didn't do it. The West have been lying about so many things, but they can't lie about this. It's obviously they wanted a war to happen. And the Ukrainians are just stupid that they did not lie as well. They can also lie, okay, we will not join NATO now. But they just wait for Putin to step down, and then they join NATO. Or they can just say, we are not going to join NATO. Then secretly they do all the agreements, and suddenly they just join NATO. They could have worked as well. So there's a lot of ways to avoid the war, but no one seems to be interested to avoid the war. I was just waiting. I was just looking at this entire things happening before the war started. It just seems like you just like seeing someone in a very slow death. Like the car is still 100 kilometers away, and the person is already screaming. Ah! Then 1 hour later, boom.
Yeah, very slow. Yeah, very slow. Which is kind of a dark thing to start. Well, yeah, the Ukrainians are stupid for not also lying, but they're also desperate, right? It's also very easy for you and I. We both, right? We're both in apartments, running water. We got our food, our family. It's also very easy for us to say, "Oh, you should have lied," when like you're in Ukraine and there are Russian tanks coming through your town. Like they might even know, "Hey, I know the United States is fucking us, but it's life or death." Right, just to play devil's advocate. Like you may not give a shit. You might be like, I know they're fucking us, but we have to take the weapons.
Any country that is between two major powers should always play both sides.
Yeah.
That's just the only thing you should and can do.
Yeah.
The moment you take one side, oh my god, you're gonna be in deep
It's
shit.
over.
So no, so like I think Serbia is doing really well, playing both sides. Turkey also. Turkey, which is, you see, Turkey is like they just trap NATO and Russia because they are inside NATO, but yet they are totally not behaving like a NATO country. So and then NATO is stuck because Turkey is just not playing ball. So that's perfect. That's the way you should play diplomacy, because of Turkey's unwillingness to play ball with the West, there is nearly impossible. It's nearly impossible for NATO and Russia to go to war. That's beautiful, beautiful diplomacy, and Turkey is doing that. Erdogan is doing that pretty brilliantly across everything. Like even between Ukraine and Russia, Turkey is the one that benefits the most, because all the grains now that they facilitated the export of grains from Ukraine during this war is to go through Turkey first. So Turkey get all the all the things, and then you want cheap gas, the Russian gas pumped through Turkey, and then Turkey sell the gas to the West, and again Turkey earns the money, and then Turkey also held control over the rebels in Syria. They keep Israel at bay. They are doing perfectly. Serbia is also doing this perfectly. They are buying arms from both sides. They're buying from China, maybe Russia a little bit. They're buying from the West. They keep a distance, but yet they don't break relationship with Russia. So Serbia is also doing this, but Serbia is a difficult situation because NATO is screwing with them with Kosovo. So but countries should be doing that. So like in Belarus situation where they go all pro Russia, that's no good, because once you do that, then you just become the front line.
Yeah.
You become the cannon fodder for Russia.
Yeah.
If a war happens. So no, Ukraine have been doing that for a long time, which is why Ukraine before the Euromaidan, they actually got so much benefit out of Russia. Just that they overdo it a bit until Russia decided that it's probably cheaper to just build a new pipeline, the Nord Stream 2 and these things, because going around Ukraine is faster than or easier than dealing with the bureaucracy in Ukraine. So otherwise, Ukraine have been getting like so much benefit, like all the gas that go through Ukraine, they get a cut, then they get heavily discounted gas from Russia. So, which is also why Ukraine never developed their own oil and gas industry properly, because they have it so cheap from Russia. It makes no sense to develop their own. So just that So the president that got a kick off due to the Euromaidan, he didn't want to join EU because he don't want to offend Russia, because he wanted to do this balance thing, and after he got kicked off, then everything just go all pro West, which is why we leads to this point, because they went all pro West. So now we have war, which is why middle countries, countries between powers should always be a bit careful, or you just be the front line. And this is what's happening now. Ukraine is the front line for NATO. So, and Russia will not allow NATO to be at its doorstep if they can help it.
Now, I'm trying to think of like really zoomed out. Obviously, I'm not a military tactician, but if you and I are coming to these conclusions, right, they seem readily apparent with just like we're doing right now. If you just take an hour and really walk it out, and then you look at historical precedents, you go, yeah, this is probably boiled down to military industrial complex making money. They don't actually want the war to end, blah, 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 all that good stuff. If you and I are coming to these conclusions, then Putin is as well. And you have to wonder, is Putin trying to, so we can keep supplying weapons, but we are in some capacity, but we're not supplying actual people. I know there are volunteers and stuff, but we can keep sending stingers until the end of time. But the Ukraine fighting age population is decreasing. I would imagine probably getting killed off faster than they're regenerating.
100%.
Yeah, so I would imagine. So if Russia knows that, or if Putin knows everything we know, and I would assume he does, I don't think you and
for
I
sure.
I don't think you and I are breaking any new ground.
Yeah. So
You
Putin
will just run out the clock and until the actual indispensable Ukrainian asset, soldiers, starts to decrease to a noticeable amount.
yeah, or it will not decrease to the point where there is no more men left.
Oh, sure, but below a critical threshold.
Because before they even hit the critical threshold, there will be a military coup. Because people, civilians, there will be one point they will revolt. They will actually go against their leadership, unless unless how to say, unless it's a total war situation where your enemy is in a total war situation. Like in World War II, there's no chance for you to overthrow your government. Like you don't expect the Nazi Germans to overthrow Hitler. It's just not doable.
Yeah.
Because it's a total war situation.
Yeah.
You don't have a chance. But in a special military operation kind of situation where on one side they are not really doing that, you might have a chance of a coup happening. So that I still think that is possible, but tentatively we are not at that stage yet. Because Ukraine is winning, tentatively speaking. So there's more legitimacy to Zelensky management. So not yet. But 2 days ago, Putin made a statement. He said that hitting the critical infrastructures are just a warning to Ukraine to not hit the Russian civilian infrastructure. So that was so, and he said that so he made a statement also that now there has this Ukrainian counteroffensive, but he was smirking and he said but let's see where it will lead to. So he the kind of quiet confidence that he's having seems to show that they have some plans already made. It's already like concrete plans. What the Russians are going to do? Maybe when a certain line is hit. So I don't feel very comfortable with seeing him smirking about this, about the Ukrainian counteroffensive, because the pro-Ukrainian crowd was like so excited. Zelensky so happy. Yeah. Oh, we have captured over 2,000, 3,000 square kilometers, and it's like then Putin is like, see where this leads to.
All right.
Oh, it's like, all right. Then he's like, oh shit, you don't know what's gonna come next, man.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna go. Hey, I gotta go pee again. Sorry, I'm chugging these. Keep talking, Wyatt.
Okay, so yeah, again, if you're still here, thanks for watching, and please subscribe to defensepoliticsasia.com. Go to youtube.com/defensepoliticsasia. The website is actually defensepoliticsasia.com. That's the news site, the news website, the official website. But I don't really have time to write much nowadays, and it's sometimes very hard to update. So because the managing the YouTube is a bit heavy, and because of in the first hour we mentioned about all this YouTube revenue and all these things, because the drop of revenue is the current trajectory doesn't seem like DPA will be able to hire anyone soon. So until we have stable high revenue, then it's very hard to hire journalists, editors, correspondents. So because DPA's plan is actually to become a proper media outlet, a full media outlet, covering geopolitics and politics all across Asia, especially, and cover military stuff, the military developments, and perhaps war as well. So it will take some time to build up this team. So if you can come and support the YouTube channels, that would be perfect. And lately, I just did this podcast, this live, I call it the open mic, where the DPA community, the viewers actually get to come live onto the discussion. We have up to 10 people on screen at once. Then we are discussing the war, the geopolitics, and all these things. And it's very exciting. You should check it out on youtube.com/DPAIRL. Yeah. And Tommy is back.
I am back. I always have to go to the bathroom because I'm hydrated. Because I'm always ready.
Me too.
I'm always
Just,
yeah. It's
I'm
the
just
only way.
holding it.
It's the only way I fight. I know because you're a man. And again, whenever you got to go, let me know. I've got nothing but time. I know it's 5 a.m. your time. Do you see what's the China aspect on this? Because we're not in a vacuum. China is another superpower. What are they watching the US and Russia destroy themselves? Are they covertly funding Russia? Do they want, just like we don't want Ukraine to win, does China maybe not want Russia to win so that Russia has to become more agreeable to Chinese terms of, I don't know, their own Lend-Lease program? What's China doing?
So,
Or is China viewing this and purely speculating on what to do about Taiwan?
okay, so China, so there is not just China, there's also the Europeans, the EU, and then there's also UK. UK as on its own, because UK has left EU. They are not exactly friends with EU.
And
They are no,
Spotify.
they're actually rivals. So
And
so
Spotify. What's Spotify going to do about the war?
so China and Russia is not friends. I always keep telling people they can never be friends because
Why?
they are strategic rivals. They are just too big to be friends. Just like India and China can never be friends. In fact, if you talk about friendship, Russia and India actually have better friendship than Russia and China, because India and Russia do not have conflicting interests, but China and Russia have, because Russia knows China well enough. They know the Chinese people well enough that they will always be a threat. And the Chinese population is too big. They are too militarized. They share a border, and so China cannot be ignored. Anytime Russia becomes too weak, China is going to take back some of this land that they have lost during the Qing dynasty. That is possible. So because the Eastern Russia is very sparsely populated, but there is a lot of minerals and resources as well, and there's oil and gas. If Russia ever collapses into a civil war, I'm not surprised China will invade Russia. So no, they are not friends. They are just just happen to share common interests against the United States, against the West. And so in this kind of situation, it means that China will just sit one side and just wait for this rival to weaken itself against the EU, which is yet another rival, another economic rival. So EU and China they're not exactly rival in the kind of a strategic sense because they're too far away, but not in a geopolitical sense. It's more like a economic sense. So if EU weakens, then China will have greater dominance economically. So, and EU is not doing themselves favor with the sanctioning of Russia. So they are watching two major rivals grinding themselves out. United States is totally not affected by this entire Ukraine war. To be honest, they have everything to gain. They don't lose anything. So US is still currently, in my opinion, their main focus is still China, and China knows that. So China is not going to go into Ukraine and sabotage themselves and get sanctioned, because the sanctions apply on Russia, right, doesn't really affect Russia that much, other than crippling its economy, but it will not collapse the country because Russia have everything.
They have
food,
resources, yeah.
They have oil and gas. They have all the raw materials, all raw resources, the
minerals,
metal, whatever.
They have wood,
they
have
coal, everything. And then, so they will never go hungry. They will never go out of electricity. They will continue to be civilized. So,
sure.
And then they have the technology to build high-tech weaponry, which means they can maintain a huge military, advanced military. That makes them a superpower.
And it's just the nuclear arsenal a nuclear arsenal will always
they have
make
nuclear
sure
weapons
that the US stays at bay.
So Russia is equivalent to United States, because United States similarly have all these things. United States have oil and gas, you have natural resources, you have the high technology, you have food. You can totally don't trade with the world and you can survive. That's what makes you a superpower. So Russia and USA is superpowers, but China to me is never a superpower, and you will never become a superpower because they can never feed themselves.
Gotcha.
They can never feed themselves. Their entire financial system is a bubble. Their currency is monopoly money, which is why they have such tight financial controls, because the moment they have capital flight, the entire economy will collapse, which is why they control, because they don't have real money. They just keep printing. And because it's a closed system, they can print unlimited amount of money. So, which is why they need to become the factory of the world, because they need the US dollar to keep coming in so that they can use the real money to buy the natural resources like the oil, the gas, the coal,
grain,
and so that they can bring this in and feed, and they continue to produce and continue to feed themselves, like wheat to feed their pigs, so that they have meat to eat. The agriculture in China mostly is only for self-sufficient in terms of rice, soy, like for soy sauce, or maybe but it's not for feeding pigs, it's feeding humans. So the soy is actually for humans. The soy they buy from US or Brazil or Argentina is to feed the pigs, to make a animal feed. So if they don't have that, they don't have meat. And they need to import oil, which means that you need real money in order to import oil, import gas, import coal, metal, all this kind of thing. They do produce this. They have some oil, some gas, but they don't have enough for their whole population. The country is too big, too many people. So they can never become a superpower. So if the sanctions apply on Russia applies on China, China will collapse. No doubt about it. China will have to go to war to in some ways to get out of it. And they will never win the war, because the collapse will be very fast.
And America isn't dumb enough to push China or Russia into a total war scenario.
Exactly. Which is why Trump's trade war is so brilliant, because they know
you just lost half your subscribers.
Bye.
It doesn't matter.
Because his administration knows the weakness of China.
Sure.
It's trade, because they need trade. Russia don't need trade that much. Because they only sell oil and gas predominantly. But if they go into a total war, like a World War III situation, they wouldn't die. They'll have food. They have everything. So as long as nuclear weapon is not used, you have food to eat. So, but China is not in that situation. The moment people go hungry, that's where revolutions come. So China is deeply aware of it, which is why all their agricultural land is not for export. It's only for domestic consumption. They plant a lot of rice and some vegetables and soy to be self-sufficient in terms of food, but they can't feed the pigs. So you can self-sufficient, you can only eat vegetables. You have no meat on the plate. You need to import the animal feed to feed your animals, then you can have meat. So that's the situation for China. They are always in this very uncomfortable situation where they are very dependent on trade. So which is why China can never be a superpower, which is also why they will never get involved in the Ukraine war, because they cannot afford the sanctions like the China one. And they are also now struggling with COVID because they say that they are able to control the pandemic. And now the whole world, we have like no more masks, they just travel. Then China is still in the lockdowns. So, and they are unable to step down this the platform that they put themselves on and say, yeah, you see, we are the only country that can control the pandemic. And then now that they are still controlling the pandemic. And for us, it's like, oh, we have herd immunity already. So so they're stuck.
It's kind of like Beanie Babies, right? Where you want the Beanie Babies when they're valuable, but you got to sell them before nobody gives a shit. China's still holding on to the Beanie Babies, but it's been 20 years. Nobody cares anymore. COVID's not cool anymore. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah. So like, most countries, I go to Indonesia, I go to Malaysia, on the streets, you don't really wear masks and nobody cares.
Yeah.
It's already, like in Singapore, we have more or less herd immunity already. We have so many people catching COVID, after we get all the vaccines and then we open up. So, things are already moving. We are welcoming, F1 is in 2 weeks' time. We're going to have so many tourists into Singapore, the hotels are all booked out. So, the world is moved on. China is not, because of this phase. They just cannot let go. And then Then there are threats of new lockdowns in Shanghai. Then everybody's going crazy. And this COVID situation is actually killing their economy. And they have no idea how to deal with this. It's like, do you want your face or do you want the money? And they are caught in this terrible cycle. And because of the COVID situation, the pandemic situation, where everybody saw how China just locked down all the exports to put themselves first, where they don't export masks, they don't export all the medicines. And then everyone just realized it's a seriously bad idea to put all your manufacturing base in China. So since the pandemic and even before that, during the trade war, companies are slowly all evacuating from China. They still have their factories there, maybe not entirely leaving, but they are all diversifying. So this manufacturing superpower, they are really losing factories already. People are losing jobs. So they are trying to deal with this situation, like encouraging things that they previously don't encourage, like become entrepreneurs, selling food on the streets. Previously they're not allowed, I think. All sorts of things is happening in China, and then so which is why they were not involved in Ukraine. And then but Taiwan is sensitive issue. Again, it's a face issue because Taiwan is totally not important. It's totally not important. It's just like Hong Kong. Hong Kong is totally not important to them. It's just one city. It's just that's where they
pride.
That's just where they wash all their dirty money. But you see, after the absorption of Hong Kong, it's a pointless city to them because Shanghai is bigger. Hangzhou is bigger. A lot of the cities, the major cities, are more prominent and more important than Hong Kong now. Hong Kong is becoming more and more like an obsolete city. So Taiwan will be the same thing. Taiwan is not important at all to China because China is so big. It's just that it's a face issue. They keep saying that one China policy. They keep saying that it's a province that can never be separated from the Chinese people. That's not bullshit. Then they trap themselves again with the rhetoric, and because they already put it into their propaganda so much, they cannot step back from it. Just like the COVID situation, they cannot step back from it. And slowly it will lead to some kind of a cognitive dissonance where they will have to face some kind of crack within their narrative. And not just that, Xi Jinping is trying to get the third term, so that will be another crack into their entire system. So because they are only allowed 2 terms, the premiers, the presidents can only allow 2 terms. So he's seeking for a third term to become an emperor.
Xi's going for the third,
Yeah, so I think he's not in his third term yet, but he's seeking for it. So China is at a crossroad where they can collapse anytime. You already see the real estate is collapsing. They are unable to pay their debts because the debts have to be paid with real money, and they do not have enough real money to pay the debts. Because if you try to pay with the renminbi, the yuan, nobody wants it. It's monopoly money. Nobody wants the money. So it's like, oh, I owe you $1 billion US, right? No, how about I just pay you yuan? Because maybe the China government is giving them all this money, they print for them. Nobody will want it. For what? Why do you want it? So now China is just taking the best of the situation. They have the currency swap with Russia, so they are buying Russian gas with Chinese money, so the monopoly money, and then Russia supplies the gas and oil. But because Russia got sanctioned, right, they cannot import a lot of products into the country. So a lot of necessities they do not have. But they can get it from China because China is a manufacturing powerhouse. So which is why they can use this monopoly money to buy real goods. So in fact, so while people say that they went away from the US dollar, it's not really that. It's more like a barter trading. If you think about it. So the currency swap. So they use renminbi to buy gas and oil. Then Russia used back this money to buy Chinese goods. This is actually barter trading. They're just barter trading. They just have a medium, which is the renminbi, the yuan, to do the barter trading. That's all. They're just doing barter trading. So that helps China a bit, to elevate the inflationary pressure on the yuan, because they printed so much money. And a lot of the things are not working out. The real estate, people are not trusting the loans anymore. They're not trusting the real estate company anymore. And that is a big part of their economy. So then not to mention, export is getting very difficult. They are still exporting a lot because their shit are so cheap. But the things are cheap because the workers are paid by monopoly money. So essentially, there's no overhead in terms of worker. Their only cost is actually truly the raw resources that they import. So which is why no one can compete with with China in terms of manufacturing. That's why Europe got so many companies and industry got collapsed or get taken over by Chinese companies, because you can't really fight fair with someone that's playing cheap. Then everything is just monopoly money within their country. So that's what's happening in China. So they are playing a very difficult game because they are not playing by the rules. So anytime they can collapse if there's a crack in their barrier in this Great Wall of China. So if this Great Wall of China start to have cracks, and then things will start to go haywire.
So it almost seems like the West and Europe, as much as they want to like put down China, they also don't want a war with China. Not just because of total war and nuclear war.
Yeah.
But we're sitting pretty using them as our cheap manufacturing.
Yeah.
We probably want to keep them out of we don't want to destroy the factories because that fucks us.
But it's a weird thing, you see. It's a weird thing because it's just like Germany importing gas and build their entire industrial economic or industrial plan based on cheap Russian gas. The whole of Europe and US is also based their whole business or economic idea on cheap manufacturing from
outsourcing
from China. Yeah, offshoring, right? So it's like this is a self pawn, because ultimately China should have never get into WTO based on the kind of thing that they do, the kind of governance and bureaucracy. And USA brought them in. So you brought a Trojan horse into the system, and then you're going to break the system. And the system is breaking because China is trying to survive. They're facing a lot of problems. Despite, on the surface, it seems like, oh, we have a new aircraft carrier. We are so powerful. We are challenging, USA, over Taiwan. We're sending our fighters, we're surrounding, doing military exercise around Taiwan, all this kind of thing. But they are actually facing a lot of problems. Russia is also facing a lot of problems because, to deal with their national security threat, they put themselves into unprecedented sanctions. Basically is like North Korea, nearly almost like North Korea, just that the world cannot live without Russia. So they are not they're not sanctioned to the extent of a North Korean sanction. And they are forcing Russia into building a new alliance or new world order, because Russia cannot live alone. Although they could, but it's not ideal. So they are bringing all the enemies of the West together. They're bringing Iran into their gang. They're bringing Venezuela into their gang. Many of the African countries are very keen on working closer with Russia. India, is very skeptical of the West, because they're always getting dictated around as if they are some losers, Yeah. And like, they think that, you think we are Pakistan? Then the Indians like, fuck you, man. The Russians giving us the BrahMos missiles, and fifth Gen 5 fighters, and all these things, that because the Russians are providing weaponry to India that can counter China. Russia is not selling things that they sell to India to China, they're selling the best stuff to India so that India can counteract China, because that's why I say Russia is not a friend to China. They are not selling the best thing to China because they know China will just steal it. They just reverse engineer everything.
Yeah.
So they give it to the Indians. So they can have this power balance between the three major powers in Asia. So India is very grateful to Russia because India is really backwards militarily compared to China. Because China, ever since the Gulf War started on the revolution, because they realized that Iraq army the Saddam's army fall so quickly, then Chinese army is no different. So they go about the revolution, they go high tech, and because they got all the money from all the trade, they managed to invest a lot. And India is stuck in their massive democracy mayhem, because their country is just too big. So with Russia coming in to help, they're very grateful. So that's why India is not abandoning Russia. And with India not abandoning Russia, Russia can't die as well, because India is a huge market as well for oil and gas. So, and India has been doing their best to buy as much as they can, over this past half a year, because it's like, oh, freak, the cheapest gas and oil, on the planet. They just keep buying. China also, they just keep buying. And which is why Russia's oil sales is like much, much, much higher than last year, because everybody is just collecting all this cheap oil. Why the hell let the Saudis earn?
Yeah.
So the Saudis are rather pissed off by Russia, because Russia is giving 80%, 20% discount on the market rate.
Well, that was going to be my next question: is where Saudi Arabia stand on all this?
So they are trapped. They are stuck. So they have always been depending on the United States to keep their status in the region, and now because the hegemony is breaking, and it's breaking really fast.
The oil hegemony.
The U.S. hegemony around the world.
Yeah.
So this hegemony is breaking. So United States become very unreliable. The biggest trading partner, right? The country that buys the most oil from Saudi Arabia is actually China now.
Really?
So they are now, yeah.
I don't know that.
Because remember, during Trump's time, US just become oil independent. Yeah, so they're not buying anything from Saudi Arabia, but they are selling a lot of weapons to Saudi Arabia. And because Biden is so unreliable, so Saudi Arabia have to do the right thing, but to protect their own interest, because United States can just neglect them and throw them aside anytime, because who knows what Biden's going to do. So, and which is why Biden tried to talk. They visited Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabians didn't give him or his diplomats a good welcome. They feel like they are being like snubbed, because they now realize that, okay, we're just going to follow the money. They just do better relationship with their biggest partner, which is China, which is also why I say China is not a superpower, because they need the oil. They need to import oil. So, but then the situation in Middle East is extremely complicated. So you have Israel as a regional power, and then you have Qatar, UAE, all doing their own thing. Then Turkey is messing around as well. Then you have Russia. So then Iran is coming back. Iraq also came back. Iraq pay off all his debt to Iran, and then now they are good friends with Iran. You cannot imagine Iraq and Iran become BFF, but that's the reality now. Iraq and Iran is BFF now. They are best friends forever. So Saudi Arabia is in this very uncomfortable situation where they actually lost control of the situation in Middle East, because previously they are the big brother, right, in Middle East. Other than Israel, they are the big brothers. They are on par with Turkey in terms of influence. Now Turkey is getting more and more powerful, because they're playing both sides. They're playing the West against the Russians, and the Russians against the West, and they are benefiting from everything. And Saudi Arabia is like a lame duck, because they can't even defeat Yemen. They can't even win the war in Yemen, and then they are getting drone strikes on their oil refinery, and that looks like shit, because you spent like billions and billions of dollars on American weaponry, and you can't even stop a stupid drone. So Saudi Arabia is in this messed up situation, and they know that their oil is going to run out soonish, because nobody knows what is the real number. Maybe they will run out next year, but they're just keeping quiet. Who knows? So they are desperate as well. I'm sure Saudi Arabia is very desperate now to find a way forward, which is why I think maybe good relationship with Israel, all these things is coming into play. Their proxy war with Iran is not doing well. Iran is doing very well now. The West wanted to talk to Iran, because the West is desperate for a new supplier for gas and oil. But then Iran is now the BFF of Russia. because Iran is under sanction for so long, and they see Russia now is being sanctioned, and then Russia is the only one that willing to do business with Iran. And then Russia just bought a lot of Iranian drones to use in Ukraine. So because the Iranians managed to capture some of the drones from the Americans, they reverse engineered and they learn all these things. So they have a very good drone technology. Their drone technology is better than Russia's. So now they are selling drones to Russia. Then Russia is actually using Iranian drones now. So the world is going messed up. So I'm not sure what is going to come next.
So if China is struggling and Russia is struggling as much as we think they are, and the United States is losing its hegemony, what does 2030 look like? Does it look like US, China, Russia, kind of a tripolar world? Is India in the mix? Or are we going to see a complete flip of the board? Is it going to be like Iran, India,
My feeling is that as long as we never descend into a nuclear war, or nuclear weapons not used, or NATO or Russia don't go into war, then we might see like what Putin always say, multipolar world. And in fact, my government also say, it's going to be a multipolar world. Everyone concedes that, United States have already lost, the greatness, which is why, the MAGA movement is legit, because making America great again is really into make America, continue to be at the apex of the food chain, but it's no longer the case. I think Trump put in a good foundation, screwed up by the COVID, and then Biden came in and screwed up even further. They canceled the
Keystone,
the Keystone pipeline. Is that what the fuck did he do it? I also don't understand. So, and then that actually spoils relationship with Canada as well. So it's going to be a very multipolar world. It's not just going to be 3 actors. It's going to be like so many. It's going to be like you have India, China, Russia, EU, UK, because UK is striking on their own now.
Saudi Arabia, Israel.
Saudi is going to be a lame duck. I think Israel might be a regional major power. Turkey will be a major player. Then you have the United States. So it's going to be so fractured that,
I feel like that's almost good.
It is good in the sense that because there's still nuclear weapons around. So war between major powers are not going to happen. But there will be a lot of small wars, which we are now starting to see. Like Tajikistan just attacked Kyrgyzstan for no reasons, like literally no reasons. No one know what the hell is happening.
Just a drunk guy throwing a punch.
It came out of nowhere. Suddenly there's just news that there's shooting at the border between Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan. Then after then you have the footage coming out that it's a real military offensive kind of thing. The artillery, the tanks go in, the tanks got destroyed. Then what the fuck is happening? Then I follow the pro-Russian source Ryba. Even Ryba wrote as much. They have no idea what caused the entire conflict in the first place. The entire skirmish just came out of nowhere. No one knows what the hell is happening. There's no lead up to this thing. Like, what the fuck? Then after that, then you have the Azerbaijan, preying on Armenia, because Azerbaijan military is much stronger now than Armenia was. Yeah, Armenia used to have a stronger military, but after that, Azerbaijan, I think they reformed their military. They have a military cooperation with Turkey, bought a lot of Turkish drone, and then they whacked the hell out of Armenia in the previous war. So now Azerbaijan is pressing on their advantage, while Russia is also busy in Ukraine. So small wars are going to become more common in a multipolar world, because the rules of most of the major powers, like China, Russia, the rules they played by is that of non-interference. We don't interfere in your affairs, you don't interfere in my affairs. And that's what ASEAN, including Singapore, is. Even within ASEAN, the Southeast Asian Association, we have a rule of non-interference, which means that no matter what the hell happened in your country, other countries within the association will not get involved. It is your domestic problem. So, which is why, even Myanmar have a civil war now, or they have the military coup or whatever. ASEAN, while we try to facilitate dialogue, we try to facilitate, their return to democracy, we don't enter, we don't send our military in, we don't sanction them, we don't do anything. We only just say, okay, your government now is not legitimate. We cannot recognize you. That's all. They don't interfere, you see.
Yeah.
Similarly, you see Azerbaijan attack Armenia. Russia is not going to send in the military to be a police.
Yeah.
They only police the small strip of corridor as peacekeepers, but they're not going to go in and stop Azerbaijan's offensive. They're just going to act as partners in dialogue. That is going to be the world we are in. India also have a non-interference policy, which is why India could have just marched their military into Afghanistan, to wipe out the Taliban. They didn't. They don't want to, because that is against their policy. The only time that they did it was for East Pakistan, which later turned into Bangladesh. Because in East Pakistan, what happened was that the leaders in East Pakistan go crazy. They start to massacre people because they cannot control the riots and everything, the protests. They start to kill civilians. And the refugee crisis becomes so big in India that India just had enough, and they just sent in the military and took out the leadership. And then Bangladesh was born. So that is the only instant that India actually sent in their military outside of India for interference, because they have no choice. They cannot allow a massacre just happen next to them and they do nothing, because that will also be against India's preach for peace. So, but unless there is something so crazy, for example, like in the Khmer Rouge rule of Cambodia, I think last time it was called Kampuchea. So it's also the same thing. The Khmer Rouge killed so many civilians that the communist, the Vietnamese government, the North Vietnamese government, which they just won the Vietnam War, they cannot not interfere, because the Khmer Rouge actually entered Vietnam and then raided one of the Vietnamese village. Perhaps because the border wasn't clear enough for them. So the Vietnamese army marches in and then take out the Khmer Rouge. And that triggered the war with China, because the Khmer Rouge was siding China, whereas the Vietnamese was siding the Soviet Union. They are partners with Soviet Union. So the Chinese invaded and have a small skirmish. So it's all these small wars that will happen. Most of the time, I don't think any countries will actually want to interfere, especially the major powers. They just don't want to interfere. Maybe they will do proxy war. Maybe they will like fun, but I don't think they will enter war unless something outrageous happen. So, or United Nations declare sanction the war. For example, the Gulf War, the first Gulf War, where because Iraq invaded Kuwait, and none of the Security Council members feel there's a problem with wanting to side that country, then you have this UN sanctioned military operation. Otherwise, I think in a multipolar world, it's going to be a lot more wars, but it's just that it's not going to be launched by the Americans, because most of the war in the world is largely American launched.
It's us.
Yeah, it's all you guys, right?
It's worse.
So in the future, it's just going to be all these hidden hostility and conflict that was like kept controlled over the past decades, because they just cannot afford to fight, because America is watching. Because if America don't sanction the fight, you can't fight.
Yeah,
that's what it is. So for example, like the Kurds have no rights to uprise against the host, the country that they are in, because the Kurds are spread out across Turkey, Syria, Iraq, and Iran. So it's only because the Americans allow sanctioned their uprising in Syria that they can uprise, or in Iraq that they can uprise against Saddam Hussein, uprise against Assad. But they did not sanction the uprising in Turkey. So the Kurds can't do anything in Turkey. So but in the future the world will be different. Because no one will be interfering. And then I think the small wars will be more common. We already seeing it in Central Asia now. A lot of it is happening in Africa now. The African countries are now very tense. There are some skirmishes between the different countries. I think Congo, or is it Sudan? So a lot of crazy stuff is happening. And this is just a glimpse of the multipolar world. because China never involved with overseas conflict.
Yeah. They don't
go, right? Yeah. India don't do it. Russia don't do it. Russia got invited by Syria. That's why they entered, because Syria offered them a naval base in Syria. And it's like, okay, that sounds cool.
So, sorry, my eyelids itching. So, you obviously have a pretty well-rounded and in-depth grasp of the world, at least to me. I don't know. Maybe you're wrong. And
I'm just very good at making up stories.
Fucking, so you're just lying this entire time. You're like, Tommy, I don't know I just made up everything. None of that's fucking true.
Yeah.
And so, but
wait till you look at the elf uprising and the dwarf, invading China.
Yeah, I'm like, you keep talking, and you're like, and the draft people have taken over the moon. I'm like, oh, fuck you, Wyatt. But so with all of it, so your grasp on the world, which I tend to think is at least more accurate than mine, less American centric than mine. How does it? And we'll kind of do this as like the final part. How does it? There's no right or wrong answer. How does this make you perceive something like the World Economic Forum, where I still can't really go all in on that, because no one's ever been successful at taking over the world. So when there's this sort of idea that the WEF is behind everything, I think they certainly have influence. I think they're an insidious group, but I don't look at them as, I think it's a convenient placeholder for things to make sense, to go one group, the Illuminati, the New World Order, the whatever, versus what you're saying right now seems a lot more, the less sexy it is, the less fantastical it is, probably the more accurate it is. It's not a couple people in a room. It's shifting alliances, rising and dropping hegemonies, and probably just a at least for now and for maybe the rest of our lifetimes, a drift towards a multipolar world, and then in 100 years maybe drift back towards
no more humanity,
or in a couple hundred years we'll drift back to a bipolar world and maybe a unipolar. It seems like that's probably a pattern that's been going on since the dawn of time, is unipolar, bipolar, tripolar, multipolar, tripolar, bipolar, unipolar, probably something like that. So you don't, so where do you come down on something? Do you look at something like the World Economic Forum and you're like, no, like no one can control the whole thing. It's too different.
Like the Davos and all these things. I don't read too much into them, because ultimately it's still the West. It's still the West. It's just the top leaders, getting around, perhaps, sharing ideas,
jerking each other off,
trying to align their interests, and trying to have a sensing of each other. I don't think there's a secret cabal that is able to control the world. Maybe there is, but even them, I think they are struggling, because let's say if there is, for example, like the Illuminati idea or the cabal or the whatever that is controlling the deep state in the United States, they are not succeeding in China.
Doing well.
They are not succeeding against Putin, which is why Putin is always the target, despite Russia is not a threat. Russia has done nothing since Soviet Union time against Europe. Nothing except for Georgia, which is because they are threatening, because the Georgian military was like killing the people in the rebel states. Because we have to understand that Soviet Union is extremely diverse. Soviet Union is actually what keeping everyone together and not fighting each other. It's a very interesting concept, just like what the Russian Federation is today now, that it is the Federation or the Soviet Union that is keeping these different distinct people from fighting and killing each other. And because of the collapse of the Soviet Union and they are not part of Russia, everyone wants to be their own country. And the one that was recognized, for example, Georgia, do not accept that South Ossetia want to leave, or the other one that I don't know how to pronounce, Abkhazia, want to leave. They want to be their own country. They cannot allow. Just like Moldova cannot allow Transnistria to become their own country. So which is why they have this conflict, because they just cannot agree. So the Russians have to step in, because Georgia is just by their border. They cannot allow this kind of shit happening beside them. And Georgia is too pro-West at that time. They wanted to join NATO. So this is why the Russians invaded. Otherwise, the Russians don't really have really done nothing bad to Europe, as far as I can tell. Anyone can point out what Russia have done badly, the negative thing that they've done to the Europeans. I think nothing. As ever since they have left Soviet Union, I don't think Russia ever did anything bad to the Europeans. In fact, they give them cheap gas. So I'm not sure. So this entire hostility against Russia is weird, which is why if there is a theory of a secret cabal, controlling whatever, because Putin does not bow to this New World Order or whatever, Illuminati. But that makes sense. That would probably make sense. But they are not succeeding because Putin really have good grasp of his own country. So is China. They are playing the game very well. So, and some didn't play as well, like Iran. It's like, they got sanctioned but for so many years, they can't really get out of it until recently. So then North Korea is just like, fuck this, I don't want to play this game. So they just
fuck
like,
fuck you, I'm getting him.
Yeah, they just put a fence around themselves.
They're Cartman. Fuck you, I'm getting him.
So even if there's really an elite group that is trying to control the world, conquer the world, they're not working out. They're not succeeding. And India is too complicated, too messy for them to conquer. So India can't even conquer themselves.
Yeah. I think where I've come down after 32 years of experience in my life, I think the best answer I can come up with is secret cabals probably exist, but I don't think they're successful. I think there's absolutely people trying to be an Illuminati. No one's done it. I mean, who's the closest? Maybe with Genghis Khan, Alexander the Great. Who's the closest?
Because if you really really put in a very realistic, logical sensing, to understand, let's say you are part of the cabal, you are only controlling one part, maybe one corporation, maybe one country, or one organization, forever, whatever it is. You are not going to conquer the world. You are not going to do that because it's just one group of people. So you are in this grouping just for your own self-interest.
Yeah.
So which is why I don't think is that fantastical, like this cabal want to conquer the world. No. If you show weakness, if your organization has weakness, for example, maybe it's a corporation, maybe you're Nokia, then it's like, well, you're one of the big boys last time. Then suddenly Nokia, have this massive collapse because they lose to the iPhone. You'll be out of the cabal.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna be, really. It's not really, this group where they're always together, trying to plot to conquer the world. I don't think so. It's just probably one group of big corporations, or big corporations of very rich people or bank owners or whatever. They are trying to protect their own interests and try to earn more money. And I think that's how EU is formed. I believe that's how EU is formed, where it was just trying to get away from all these, different currencies all across Europe. They form one currency so that it's easier to do business. But then even they themselves are struggling to deal with United States as a competitor. EU itself, they just have too much social policies, too much free money to give to the people who can't work, and taxes is too high, which is why when Trump cut taxes, the corporate tax, there's a exodus of companies leaving Europe to come to the United States. And this is the weakness of the European Union, because the tax is just way too high. I think some of the footballers, the soccer players, like the tax can be as high as 50%, for that. That means we thought that they earn some very big contracts, like $1 million a year. But then 50% actually goes to the income tax. And then they actually earn 500,000. It's not as big as it claims to be. So, like in the soccer world, in certain countries where the tax are ridiculously high, they actually negotiate the salary that they want on top of the tax that they have to pay. So you have to pay them, double. Yeah. If not, they are not going to sign for your club. Yeah. So because they know that the tax is ridiculous. So that's the reality. And then I think EU is going to collapse on its own very soon if they do not make a right decision in this sanction against Russia, because it seems like things are going really, really badly now for them. The energy crisis, I mean, have you seen the electrical bills? Coming out.
The bills are going exponential. Yeah,
Like, is
their
it
bills
crazy?
are their bills are growing how your YouTube channel should be growing.
Yeah.
There's no censorship there. There's no censorship there. Fucking
Yeah.
bullshit. Yeah. Man, I think the conclusion is like you bet. And then not only that, there's also this like kind of weird like caveat to all of this world domination and industrial complexes and corporate power. At least not yet, at least. But like, or it's, I mean, for the foreseeable future, we're still these mortal biological beings. Like you got X amount of time. Queen, sure, she's here forever until she's gone. Now, if we start to hit, transhumanism and longevity, you might start to see these weird plans of people that are planning on 1,000-year scale. But right now, there's this, even if you can live forever, there's still like might have an aneurysm. Might just get hit by a car.
I heard from one of my Patreon viewers. He's American. He seems to read a lot into all this weird stuff. He says that based on projections, within our lifetime, they'll find a way to allow humans to live forever.
Yeah, Rick Kurzweil's been saying that since like 95.
Based on the trajectory of how the technology have advanced, and there might be some truth to it, given how you just think about 10 years ago. Doing this is nearly impossible. What you're doing now is very hard 10 years ago. So technology have changed so quickly and so hard, and with AI coming into more and more things, into research. For example, now they can design an entire aircraft without using the wind tunnel.
Yeah, it wasn't
everything just through AI, AI physics, and then they design the whole thing perfectly. When they build it, it flies. They're already doing it, and
I think the US
more and more
did
things.
2020. The NGAD, the next generation air dominance fighter, didn't they design it in 1 year using AI with no prototypes?
Yeah. So imagine this. You will start to look more and more like how Iron Man, Tony Stark, in how he used the AI to do molecular research. Like does it work? How about change this molecule to this molecule? And then the AI just decides, and then hey, it works. It's a match. And I think we might see the future, within our lifetime. And if that happens, then we might actually have a solution to the aging, because the only thing that is killing us is actually the DNA. Actually have this trigger, the switch that turns on after, I think, we are 30 years old or something. Then they will start to degrade your body naturally. That's how the DNA decides to do it. So once you can turn off the switch, then we will live forever.
It's also in a weird, ironic sort of way. If you don't die from disaster or disease or illness or whatever, or genetic mutations, the thing that does kill you in the end is breathing. It's oxidative damage, right? You have the 4 main protein parts in the electron transport chain. If everything else doesn't kill you, the very act of breathing and moving that oxygen through the electron transport chain and moving the fucking 1 electron through the proton pump in the final step, that thing itself starts to degrade, causing the system to be at the very end.
It doesn't regenerate the cell?
Well, at the very end, the actual thing, not the ribosome. Is it the ribosome? No, it's the actual.
This is way too deep for me, man.
At the very so at the very end of like the electron, the very end, the machine, we'll just call it the fucking life machine. There's a proton pump in the final protein of the final step of the electron transport chain. It starts to degrade. It gets damaged because it's just the law of averages. Every X trillion oxygen molecules you breathe in, there will be a free radical that will damage something, right? Think of like a conveyor belt moving really fast. Every X number of days, something will fly off of it and hit the wall, right? Over the course of 90 years of your life, those laws of averages add up. And the free electron damages is the actual proton pump, which means the proton pump stops. Is the proton pump or the electron? Whatever the fuck it is, the final protein, that itself gets damaged, meaning that its efficiency goes down, creating more free radicals, and it starts damaging itself. It's a 3D printer printing 3D printers. And after 1 million of them, it creates a defective 3D printer. Well, that now defective 3D printer maybe makes 2 defective 3D printers per
That's
million.
cancer, right? That's basically tumor and cancer, right? That's what causes cancer and tumor. Right?
I don't know enough about that. I know at the very end, if nothing else kills you, it's oxidative respiration. It's also been 9 years since I took biology. I could be talking out of my ass.
Because my understanding,
I should be making this up as I go.
My understanding of cancer, that's exactly what happens. Because our cell splits, right? Every time it splits, there's always a chance of a mistake, like error, like programming error. And if this error happens too often, it becomes a tumor or become cancerous. Because if there's an error, the body will actually kill the cell. They'll actually, the immune system will actually kill it. But when you have too many of it, that's when they start to accumulate. And which is why when you smoke or whatever, because you are damaging yourself so much
adding in
the error is more common. But I'm not sure if you are supposed to live forever, you're supposed to solve this problem. So I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
There's some biologists listening to this podcast right now, banging their head against the wall.
What the hell are these people
fucking retards? What are you talking about? So Ray Kurzweil, you might like that book, The Singularity is Near. I don't know when he wrote it. I read it in 2007, and it's about, he calls them the 3 bridges. The first is, I think like the 0th bridge is supplementation. The first bridge is, I think like stem cells. The second bridge is, if I remember, it's like genetic manipulation, like CRISPR. And then the third bridge is nanobots. And there's the idea of escape longevity, where we're going to start adding a year of lifespan or more than a year of lifespan per year of human life that goes by from research. And we're supposed to hit this break. And he has, but for all of his critics, he has also in some cases been correct, just like predicting when like touchscreen cell phones would be ubiquitous like 20 years before it happened. So he's got a pretty good track record. He's not a dumb guy. I think he was the science advisor like 4 administrations. But it is predicted that like right now the first person to live for 1,000 years is already alive. And you would imagine it would probably be the wealth of someone like Bezos or Musk, but Musk is 50, Bezos is I think a little older. So I don't know. It'd probably maybe be an offspring of theirs. But back to what you just said, though, and who knows? Maybe you and I are just being old like Puritans. There's probably somebody that saw the first Wright brothers fly, and they're like, "Man shouldn't be in the skies. That's reserved for angels." Some kind of like backwards, like whatever the fuck. I'm sure someone back in the day was like, "We shouldn't go to the moon. That's for whatever." But I'm kind of with you. I don't, and not just from like the simple standpoint of overpopulation. Well, if we're living forever, we could just go colonize the universe. So it's not that. Yeah. I do think there's like a philosophical implication, which is for me and me alone. I'm not someone that says like we shouldn't try to cure aging. I don't know if I'd partake in that. I think there is something, again, in my opinion, there is something beautiful about knowing that the game doesn't go on forever, that the clock is running out. Because there's a lot of tragedy.
Do you watch Lord of the Ring?
Do you
read or watch Lord of the Ring? No. Read or watch Lord of the Ring. So the elves in the Lord of the Ring world.
Oh, Lord of the Ring.
The Tolkien world.
Yeah. I think it's a Lord here.
So the beauty of Tolkien's work is that he actually explored this idea that because the elves can live forever, but no, the elves are sad forever. They're always sad. They're always in sorrow because they see the tragedy, but they lost loved ones, but it will never end.
Yeah,
because they live forever, it will never end. There's no end point, and then which is why the elves, in the Tolkien's world, actually envies the humans because they really always live in the moment because their life is so short. So there's a beauty to living short. Because my wife had been talking to me about all these things lately as well. It's like she thinks that life is meaningless because of all the suffering. Because her mother just passed away last year, so she started to see the world, life differently. Now, then she have some crazy theories like like if we can all live forever, how good or would it be, with no sufferings or maybe if someone is really pure hearted, you will live forever. Then I just debunk the hell of her. I just like shoot down his ideas.
You're ice cold, Wyatt. Ice cold. Yeah, it's
No, because this is wrong. The way how she view the world, because she's Buddhist, so she have this Buddhist idea, no, but it's like it doesn't work that way. No, living forever have a lot of other implications. Although I wish I'm an elf, I can live forever
I wish
or
I
live
had
long enough to.
I wish I had wealth and an elf. I wish I was a wealthy
Uh,
elf. Wealthy elf.
yeah, because I like to see things evolve.
Yeah.
So which is why I enjoy covering the Ukraine war, because I'm seeing things evolve and change,
I
and I
had
find it very fun.
I had my first like nihilist existential moment. I think I was like 8 or 9.
Oh,
And
that's young.
I loved building Legos. I still do.
Mhm.
I haven't done it in 15 years. I'd love to again. I fucking build cities and trains. I just loved. And I remember I was like sitting on a plane. Yeah, I think I like just got braces or something. And I was like looking through Lego magazine or something. And I was planning like my next skyscraper. I'd build these things like 6, 7 feet tall. And I was just half that height. And I remember thinking, it just dawned on me one time. I just vividly remember it because I was sitting on a plane. It had nothing to do with like being on a plane. It was just, that's how I remember it. And I remember thinking, what's the point? I'm just going to die. And it fucked with me so much. And I've gone back and forth on that head fuckery so often. I mean, after I lost my older brother died in 2014, and like that fucked with me forever. And now, I do like the idea of, it might be easy for us to shoot down the idea of living forever because you and I both probably are not going to, versus if like, the UN came out and was like, we're going to donate $100 trillion. We want Tommy and Wyatt to live forever. We might change our tune, but that's not going to happen. So it's easy for us to take this viewpoint, but I think there is something beautiful about it not lasting for, like, a video game is only fun for so long. And whereas
Mhm.
I used to maybe play a video game and I'd be like, I don't want it to lose its fun. Now when I'm playing a video game with friends and we're laughing our fucking asses off, I just really savor it. And I'm like, the next day we're all texting each other like, what time are you getting on? Like, we're gonna play again because it's still fun. Now I don't try to make it last forever. I just go, just fucking enjoy it. It's here. Right. It's September
Mhm.
now. It's the fall. It's starting to get a little colder. I love the fall. And after that, I'll love the winter. But by spring, I'm like, I'm ready for it to be so fucking hot that I don't like it, because in a weird way, I do like it. Like, so there's something that like you don't want it to last, for me at least. I do find joy in that it's so short. Sure, the suffering is undeniable. It would be a little
Mhm.
nicer to maybe know when you're gonna die. But even that,
No.
even yeah, but even that is part of is what makes it so great, is not only is life like recess when you're in like school, middle school, right?
Mm.
It's recess, but you don't know how long it is. It might be a
Yeah.
3 hour recess. Maybe the teachers are going to be nice. They might
Yeah.
blow the whistle halfway through the recess. And there's something beautiful about whatever game you're playing. You are totally present in the moment and you're
Yeah.
playing it. Even now, like, maybe this is the last episode. I don't, like, maybe I fucking die tomorrow. I have no idea. So there's something about like just going balls. There is something beautiful about that. And yeah, there is something beautiful about it not
Yeah.
lasting forever. It really, really forces you to just grab it and run.
That's exactly what I told my wife. I say, just live in the moment, just appreciate and and just cherish every moment. Just do your best in every moment,
Yeah.
because we do not know when we'll end,
Yeah.
and the best policy is just do your best, just live in the moment, don't live in the past. And because just now like you talk about knowing when you will die, I think that's a bad idea.
Yeah. That'd be a
which
terrible
cancer
idea.
which cancer patient is very happy about knowing that they're going to live for like half a year or 1 year or 3 weeks?
That's
No one
true.
wants to know when they're going to die.
Yeah.
And I tell my wife that no, she said it would be so nice if everyone knows when they're going to die so that they will cherish their time better. I said no, that's not going to happen. Everyone that knows when they're going to die, especially the cancer patients, they are depressed.
Yeah.
They're fucked.
Yeah.
So it's you don't want to know when you're going to die. You just live your life, give it good meanings, and then good purpose, and then you just do your best. You know that knowing when you're gonna die is always the worst idea. It's never gonna turn out well. It's just gonna be the depression to the end of your days. But I told her, but you can be assured, most of us is not going to live, for another 40 years. No, I'm 39. Another 40 years, I'll be like in 80s, almost 80. No, how many people live past 80? So we know that more or less our life is going to be around 80 years, so around there.
Yeah.
Very few is going to pass 80. Many of us is going to die before 80. So actually you already know when
Kind of
you're
already
die.
know. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just that the specific date will just screw with you.
Yeah.
So you just know. So I told my wife, that's why every day I'm always so anxious. Like every day I'm like, I'm so busy. There's so much things I need to do. I'm running out of time. Even though I'm actually not in a rush, but I always feel that I know I'm running out of time, which is why I'm always like seems to be so busy. Every day I'm just continuously working and doing things, because it's like there are things that you know that you can only do up to a certain age, and then you will start to lose your power to do it. Like now I'm 39, I'm able to still go very strong, but maybe by the time I'm 45-ish, I will start to lose a lot of the tenacity. Perhaps even after 40, I will lose a lot of tenacity. And then it's time to, I need to recruit new talents to help to build DPA or whatever, make it a bigger company, so that I have editors, writers, they will not always be me, running the show. No, I'm thinking ahead of this kind of thing. So if I'm going to do that maybe around in a few years' time, then I need to work very hard now so that I can have more time later. Because if I live by my current lifestyle, you will never see me in USA. I have no time to fly. I have no time to travel. I have no time to do anything.
Yeah.
So that's how I think. So I always have this urgency. So sometimes I meet my best friend. I always say, no more time already. Quickly, you can do your things you need to do. I always tell them. Then it's like, he's like, I think he is pretty pissed with me. Always urging him to do things.
Yeah. There is. Yeah. I kind of have that same thing in me. Like I don't.
So imagine if I estimate humans are living up to 80 years old now. I'm already halfway through my freaking life. What the fuck?
I like it. It's scary. It's scary, but it's cool. I like it.
So when I was your age, I'm not thinking about that. Then it's only this last 1-2 years, 3 years, and it's like, oh holy shit, I'm gonna be 40. Yeah. It's like when you're still in the early 30s, you're still young, you still think that you're young, you still are like fighting for your dreams. Then now it's like, fuck, I'm gonna be 40. 10 more years, I'll be like 50. What the fuck? I'm 50.
Yeah, 10 dude.
Years. What the fuck?
Dude.
So which is why I have this urgency that I realize that I cannot relax anymore. Yeah, until I reach certain milestones which I feel that I can relax. For example, if I have enough subscribers, enough views per video, then I don't have to work. I don't have to chunk out so much videos on a daily basis. Then I have more free time to do more things. Something like this, or I can hire people to do, that so that I have more free time to go and chase other dreams. So I think time is the thing that now I'm trying to fight for. But now I'm working very hard because I'm trying to buy my apartment, my own apartment next year. So now I'm trying to save up, which is why YouTube stop screwing with me.
Give him
I
more.
need my house.
He needs to move the fuck out. He's halfway to 80. YouTube, stop playing fucking games.
I want my house.
Yeah. Maybe we should just send a video of you crying to Rumble, and I'll be like, he's almost 80. And he's almost 80. In a few short decades, he'll be 80. But no, I'm with you on that, and that there's like this grind, like do it now.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I can't go at the pace. I've been going at this pace for almost 3 years, but I know I can't do this pace forever. I know I can do the podcast. I can do it forever, but it needs to slow down at some point. Like I do need to bring it down to maybe 5 episodes tops and do more episodes like this, like a long 3-hour, you get it all out, kind of no plans versus like When I'm doing
Joe Rogan
multiple,
style.
yeah, when I'm doing multiple episodes a day, it's not because I'm trying to get more episodes out, because I know it's not about quantity. It's rather that I'm trying to cover as many different topics and fields as possible, because I'm trying to throw as many feelers out into the world to try to pull people in. And yeah, man, I mean, this needs to get to a point where like I have someone that does the editing, the uploading, the social media. Like I need a
Mhm.
scheduler, I need a secretary, like because it's not just that we're doing a 3-hour podcast. It's everything before and after. It's all
Yeah.
day, every day. And don't get me wrong, I love it. I wouldn't do it if I didn't. But like I definitely like it does need to slow down, because it's also this isn't the only thing I want in life. There's more to life
Yeah.
than even if I grew, even if God willing, I grow the biggest podcast in the world, it's still not going to fulfill you. It's going to be really
Mhm.
cool. I'm sure Joe Rogan has a hell of a time, and that money's not
Yep.
bad either. But there's
Yep.
more
Yep.
to it. You know, how's your relationship with your parents? How often do you talk to your siblings? Have you found love? Are you a parent? Or do you adopt someone? Or are you just a godfather? Or do you fucking go volunteer at a charity or whatever? There is
Mhm.
more than this. This is very fun. It's very cool.
Exactly.
It's great to see it grow. But ultimately it is just a thing that exists. It's not real. Like
Yeah.
it's a very fun, you have to work. There's no escaping work. So if I had to work, I'll choose this every day. But this
Mhm.
isn't gonna
Mhm.
fill your heart to the brim. It's just not.
Yep.
It's very fun, and
Yep.
I'm very blessed that I get to do this, that I don't have to go, work hours I don't want to work or at a job I don't want to
Mhm.
be at.
Mhm.
But
Agree. Agree.
this isn't the end all be all. With the thing you're gonna find that really soothes your soul, it's not gonna be on camera. You're not gonna be able to put it into words. No one's gonna witness it. It's gonna be a moment alone, or it's gonna be finding love, or it's gonna be watching your kid grow up, or it's gonna be spending time
You're
with
right.
your parents. And "Hey, yeah, you guys were right. I wasn't asked when I was little." Like those moments, you can't package it and put it online and say, there it is.
So that was what I know. So that's the things I'm vexing about because I'm so busy nowadays. I'm working 2 full-time jobs in a sense because I have my own professional design work, and then I have the DPA YouTube, which both are full-time. So also no, I really don't have a lot of time with family, and I find that very vexing because I
Yeah.
don't even have time to play computer games. So I created like DPA Gaming, the YouTube channel. I haven't even played any games to upload at all. So
Yeah.
and I realized that this is very unhealthy, which is also
Yeah.
why and I have no choice because I need to save up the deposit for my apartment.
Yeah. So
So I have to work hard at least until the end of the year, and hopefully that will be enough. Then next year I can get an apartment. Then I can relax a bit. No, I'm not so tied up about how much money I earn because everything will just be installment. As long as I earn the minimum, everything should be fine.
yeah.
But now it's just go 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 go. But
Yeah. I mean,
it is quite painful.
it
Every day,
is.
when I'm out, I was like thinking, my video, I haven't do my summary today. They're like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah. Dude, it is like the grind is fun. It is, there's nothing like building your own thing and watching it. It's incredible. It's unlike
mhm,
anything I've ever felt before. But I mean, there is also like this can't go forever. I know we just said that, but it's the same idea as where I'm like, as much as I'd love to
yeah,
make a Joe Rogan money, I'd also be
yeah,
fine with the podcast just making enough to pay my apartment bills. Like that's that's fine. I'd love I'd love to have a girlfriend. I'd love to get a dog. I'd love to have just
yeah.
like be
How are you ever going to get a girlfriend if you're always sitting in the room?
I know I'm always fucking working. I don't fucking know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I'm here or in the middle of New York City. I'm not meeting anybody. I'm just working. So like
Yeah,
I would like this to make enough money that like
yeah.
is taking
There will be
care
one
of stuff.
point you may have to slow down, not posting daily. You have to post, every other day. Maybe eventually you slow down to once a week, so that you can do other projects. No, because it's not possible to run on your kind of schedule for too long. Because I'm doing daily posting as well. So and this is
It
very
burns
painful
you.
because it's very tiring because I have to do research first. It's not just talk, immediately just talk. I have to do my research and update the map before I can even do the summary. and that research, that updating of the map can take between 3 to 5 hours. So nowadays I took out some of the things that I think is not very important, so I can update maybe around 2 to 3 hours, then I can do a summary. But but the posting, the publishing, and then the engagement with the comments and on Twitter, trolling the pro-Ukrainian crazies, so then like you still end up take me 5 to 6 hours.
Yeah.
And then I have to do my other work, which also takes maybe 4 or 5 hours. So my life now is just wake up, work, eat, work, sleep. That's my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So which is why when you asked me about my sleeping hours, I was like, I don't know what's my sleeping hours, because
you're like sleeping.
I work until I'm tired and I sleep,
and then wake up and work. And yeah. It's
and which is also why I'm not spending enough time with my wife, and it's very painful. And but every time, and the problem is every day that I'm away from working on at least the YouTube channel, I'm losing money. Because if I post something, I earn money. I don't post something, I don't earn the money, which means that now going out is more expensive than it was before. So last time is that you're only paying for the transport, the food, maybe the cinema tickets or whatever. That's the only expense you have. Now it's not. On top of this, you have the lost income. Oh my freaking god! That's like, I can't reconcile that. So but something have to give, and it's very hard to balance this. Like I'm sure all YouTubers know, or all content creators know, like you stop doing your content after you go and play computer games. You start to think, why the fuck am I not recording this game? I just create a new channel, I just post this.
That's why I made the gaming channel, dude. I've got 130 episodes on that because I was like, I play video games every night. Why don't I record it?
Which is like messed up. It's like we can never live a normal life. It's like some of these YouTube channels, they're for children, right? Some of these children channels are massive, like they got like 20 million subs, 60, 80 million subs.
Insane.
And their views are in the hundreds of millions views. But if you think about their lifestyle, the family, the parents and the children, they are not going to have a normal life.
No.
Every single moment the child is going to play or do something.
That's true.
No, the parents will be thinking like, oh, we need to record this. No, this is content. They're not going to have normal life. So, and I'm feeling this as well. Like, because I already did that last year when I play game, I try to record, and I realized that, fake, I still have to spend time to do editing. So well, the game is no longer fun. Well, that's if you even need to edit.
I made a rule when I started my gaming channel.
No editing.
Nothing. I don't even link to the gaming channel anywhere. I record when I start playing with my friends. I stop recording. I hit upload. I go like brush my teeth. It's the last thing I do. I brush my teeth and I go to bed. I do nothing. It sucks. The audio is terrible. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck because I can't pervert like the beauty of playing video games with friends. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I just don't give a shit. It's
So no, that's the conundrum now. Yeah. So but I have no time for gaming now at this moment. When I do play games, I play just the soccer game. It's just to chill, just
to relax, turn your brain off.
Yeah. I want to play computer games. I bought so many games I haven't played.
I know, dude.
And you invited me to play game with you. I still haven't played it.
I know. You gotta play with us, dude. Ready or Not, Ground Branch, Insurgency. But kind of one thing I have found though is, especially from this podcast, is like a channel won't just grow on its own. You have to work at it. And I'm also realizing like I'm not just going to develop a social life. I'm not just going to develop a romantic life. I'm not just going to, they don't just happen. You have to put work into those as well, which is why I'm like, I just want to get this to a place where it starts to make money. And then I can maybe do 5 episodes a week, maybe 3 episodes a week, and start putting time into those other aspects of life that are fulfilling.
But it's something I realize is that when you post too much is exhaustion for your viewers as well, So because, for
Well,
example, my
I don't
summaries,
give a shit about my viewers.
but I don't know. But I
I'm
mean,
fucking
if you
with
want
you.
to grow,
And
I mean, if you
I
want to
ex-
grow, because it might work better if you don't post on the daily basis,
Sure.
or no, don't post so many videos on the daily basis. I mean, you can explore it. I'm not sure because the viewers cannot catch up. So for example, for my Defense Politics Asia YouTube, what I realized is that if I post too many videos in a single day, they cannibalize each other. That's what I realized, and which means that the viewer actually drops.
Yeah.
I have to give time for the video to get viewers to watch. If let's say, for example, I post this summary, if 12 hours later I post another one, the viewership for this one will start to drop.
Yeah.
Because people will just view the latest one, they will not view the one before. So and if let's say I give it more time to let people view, this will eventually actually grow more a bit, so that this can actually fulfill its maximum potential.
Yeah.
And so no, this is something you can think about, because your schedule is amazing. You're able to cramp in so much, but it's also might be counterproductive, because it's just not possible to follow everything. Like for example, if I think like Tim Pool actually do a pretty decent job in terms of like he have 2 short news coverage daily, so you can watch or don't watch, it's up to you. Then they have one podcast, the live one, although daily is also quite crazy, because I can't even follow daily, because even when they have very good guests, it's just not possible. It's just too much.
Yeah.
But so I one of my very good friend now, he's the YouTuber from his channel is called History Legend. I'm not sure if you've come across. So he also covered a bit of Ukraine war. We became very good friends because we just seems to hit off very, very well. And he don't post daily. He posts like maybe once a week. His viewership is like 10 times mine. His channel is, of course, but he had his channel is much bigger than mine. His channel is like 4 times bigger than mine, but his viewership is 10 times more than mine, because his videos, right, is he edited, so it's not like us, we are so lazy, right, we just post. But like he edits it nicely.
Yeah.
But he posts, and then he only like have one video per week, one proper video, and this video is not very long, maybe 13 15 minutes, sometimes 20, depends, but usually, well, it's edited, and then he gets the 10 times my view.
Yeah.
So I think that his revenue probably is similar than me or higher than me, but he's working so much lesser.
Yeah.
And I think it's because he gave time for this video to grow, to have more viewers, because mine is a daily coverage, so it's very hard to do what he's doing. So his is like he's just picking topics to talk about. So it's something that I've been thinking about as well. So, but it's very hard for me to do summaries across a few days, because it's really hard to keep up. It's very painful to go through 3 days of update to put it on the map. Like I tried, there's once I did 5 days. I was like, oh fuck, when is this going to end?
Yeah.
It's like going through the intel. It's like, wow, there's so many, like going through thousands and thousands of posts. So yeah, but something you can consider, really consider, because doing the same thing over and over again, and if it's and expect different results, it's going to be quite painful, because you have too much content. Even I want to watch your content, I also don't know which one to click, because it's just too much.
Yeah.
Even Team Pool only do one per day, only from Monday to Friday. I already find it like too much.
Yeah.
I can't even go into it.
Yeah. I can definitely see me kind of evolving to that. I think right now my logic is I started listening to Joe Rogan like right when he started his podcast, and I listened to him like for 3 or 4 years. But even then, I only chose topics I liked, and I'd find like one guest I liked, and I'd go back and find all the ones with that guest and listen to them. And then a year later, I'd find another guest I liked, and I'd go back and listen to all that one guest. And from my own experiences, I knew that I would never listen to all of his episodes, but I always liked that there was a huge pool of episodes because I could always dive in and find a new one. That's kind of my logic is like I cover so many different topics. There are gonna be people that see this and go, I don't give a shit about Ukraine, and they're just not gonna click on it. But there are people
Another
who
suggestion. Because I'm going through your video list, right? Maybe you can put in the topics that was discussed, then the name at the back. So I think that's what if you go and look at Tim Pool, how he names his title, I think that will help. Because for example, I see like Dr. Roger Rodkinson. I have no idea what you guys have talked about. Like no, because it's just a name. I don't know who is he.
But it has the topic in the title. Click on them. It says in parentheses. They all have the topic.
The undercover ETF agent Vincent Cefalu.
Yeah.
So,
they all have the topic in the parentheses.
Make it longer. I don't know. I'm just suggesting, to help out with the SEO because because for me is that when you first approach me, I go to a channel, I have no idea what to watch.
Yeah, you're like
because it's just a lot of names.
Yeah.
So that's why I realized that, oh shit.
Yeah.
Then after I just fuck it. Come in blind.
Yeah. Well, one thing that has always kind of helped me is when I first reach out to them, a lot of people are willing to do it because there are so many episodes. They know that they're going to get lost in the fray. They're not nervous about them being the center of attention. And I also figure if I've had this many episodes and I've had this many guests repeatedly, clearly I don't piss them off. Clearly I maintain a relationship, right? I can fuck around with you, and I can fuck around, but I can put on the serious face and interview the doctors or like a political candidate or a Air Force colonel. Like I can flip on the business face. That is one thing that people have said. Like that's why I agreed to come on the show. Is they're like, you wouldn't have this many out if you were like fucking around. So
that's true.
Yeah. So from that standpoint, I'm like, well, now I want to keep that going, but I don't know. I'm confident it's gonna work. I think it's probably going to work in a manner and at a time that I least expect it to work. I always have an idea of this is going to be the episode that works, and then it doesn't fucking work. And then I throw out an episode that's just another episode, and that one takes off. And people are like, "Oh, I found you through this episode." I'm like, "Why the fuck did you watch that?" Like, there are probably people that are going to be like, "Dude, I came to you with that 3-hour episode you did with Defense Politics Asia." Like, what? You didn't watch the one with like the guy that walked on the moon? They're gonna be like, "No, fuck that. I watched you guys like talking about Rumble." All right, like fuck it. What? Come on in. Welcome. So, I don't know. I think it's also just me that like I just have to work hard at that for my own mental health. There is something. I love working out because I feel tired at the end of the day. I love working hard because it just kind of puts me into a relaxed state at the end of the day. I'm like, I tried my hardest today. Even if
I just want to suggest certain ideas, certain perspective maybe you haven't thought about before. For example, what I like to refer to Tim Pool because he has been really successful with his stuff.
Oh yeah.
So what he does is that in his the long one, but because he got editors to help him do it, so you have to do it yourself. But see, he chop up the entire podcast, and those specific topics they put it into small snippets. Maybe like
channels,
10 minutes, 12 minutes. He actually put it in the same channel, the IRL channel.
Okay.
He put it in the same one. So it helps people to get the topic because the title can be exactly what was being discussed
in that bit, yeah.
In that one bit, in that one portion, and then when people like what they're listening, and then because you always leads in from something else, right? And then you lead up to something else. Then people say, "Hey, fuck, what did?"
Where does it go? Part. Where did it come from?
Yeah, then they will actually scroll to look for the full one, which is what I do because sometimes I just happen to see one of the short the title, the short snippets. I listen and say, hey, this guest is cool. So I went to watch the full episode. So I think that helps because for example, this 3-hour talk, we talk about so many things. Your title is never gonna
The title is
fit.
for this one. The title is just going to be the timestamp of when we start talking about
Tommy
Ukraine.
and Wyatt roast Rumble.
Yeah, it's going to be Tommy and Wyatt in their own delusional circle jerk echo chamber.
And also Wyatt DP defense politics agent bracket delusional self masturbation.
Yeah, delusional circle jerk. That's what this is. This podcast has been a delusional circle jerk. Like,
yeah,
we're not.
but you can consider. I mean, you can. I mean, not consider the title. I mean, consider the snippet thing.
I think that's the title, delusional circle jerk.
Yeah, but consider the snippet things. Then you can actually reduce the number of videos you need to do, interviews you can do per day. So you can actually spend more time instead of
editing one up or
you just do editing. Yeah, then I think that would help with viewership by a lot. Because if not, the problem is if I search, be it Rumble, LDC, I will not be able to find the topic because it will be hidden because they only put a name. Yeah. So no, this is something I learned recently as well for my channel, is that I need to prostitute myself a bit in order to get views. Yeah. So I'm nowadays I've been quite prostitute on my channel. I have like thumbnails now, and I have a clickbaity title sometimes.
Oh, see, I can't do that. I'll fucking jump off.
But you see, everything is real. Everything is factual. So it's just exactly what it's just that I need to write it in a way that the title attracts people to want to click it.
Yeah,
thumbnails.
I get it. For me, it's like a personal thing where like if I did like a thumbnail of me like and it like had the title in all caps.
Oh no, you don't have to do that.
I would just drink bleach and slit my wrists because I wouldn't be able to look at myself in the mirror.
No, you don't have to do that. You can just have a screenshot of you and your guests laughing. That would be a perfect screenshot or the thumbnail. Yeah, but no, yeah, because I used to think like this, like, just fuck it, just post. Then I realized that no, I have run myself into the ground. Okay, no choice. I have to prostitute myself a bit to grow the channel again, and it does help a bit. Unfortunately, we are all shallow people.
We are all shallow ghouls.
So are you, viewers? You are also so shallow.
None of us. I can't. I'll fucking jump off a bridge if I do that.
I know you click on that sexy girl thumbnail, right? I know.
We're watching you, bitch. It's
we know what you do, you shallow person.
Yeah, but then I look at like Joe Rogan, who's the most successful of all time. He just puts the name of the guest, doesn't even put parentheses.
Yeah, but he do have a nice thumbnail, right? Is he
on Spotify? No, it's just those two talking.
Oh, Spotify? No. He is. Let me see.
He doesn't run his clip.
Too.
He doesn't run his clip, but he doesn't run his. That's the thing, is I need someone to do a clips channel. Yeah. I did create a clips channel of little clips, and I got suspended from YouTube again. So like, that's the other thing. I'm like, what? I'm like, what am I even fucking doing?
Yeah, but no, just explore new things. No,
you are. You're being very optimistic, and I'm being an asshole. No, you're right. You are. You're being very helpful. You're giving me different things to think about, and I'm being a criminal.
I mean, it's your channel. No, it's not my problem.
Yeah, fuck do you care? What you mean? Why? It's like I don't give a shit if this thing tanks. Go fuck yourself, Tommy. Fucking jump off a bridge. Fuck your channel.
So I looking at the Joe Rogan's YouTube, where he put the snippets, because he don't put the full interview now anymore on YouTube. Yeah. So yeah, it's basically his face and the guest face all look very serious, and then they have a square in the middle
of something. Yeah.
It's just a picture of the topic that they are talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean a very simple one seems to work for him, and then I think it works. It's because it's very simple. You just see who is actually being interviewed. Yeah. That's okay. But it's so much work for you. You busy man. You busy man. No time to do this kind of thing.
I have no. It's too big for Tommy. No, you're right. Yeah. If I'm bitching, I should do it myself.
If you miss this interview, emotional damage for you. No problem.
Should I just do that? Should I just go all in? Make it very clickbaity. Be like, was Wyatt responsible for 9/11? ? And we just do a thumbnail of both of us like, with like the towers collapsing behind us, and you're like wearing a turban with Bin
I
Laden.
give you a screenshot moment. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's you and
can now
Bin Laden
you
arm
can
in arm, and I'm like, did Wyatt plan 9/11?
okay, you can Photoshop in.
Yeah, and it's
Okay,
you and
you have
Osama at like a
so you
mansion
can
in
actually
LA.
pause there and then do a screenshot. You know, they can Photoshop
Yeah,
his face in.
no, if I ever do that, I'll just I can't. There's something deep inside of me, and it's probably pride and ego, but there's something
Yeah,
about me where I'm like, I just when I see clickbait thumbnails and titles on YouTube,
I click
there's
it.
dude, there's no, I don't click that. I click the three little buttons to the right, and I click don't recommend channel. I can't. I hate. There's something inside of me. There's something like deeply. There's some instinct that should have died off a billion years ago, but there's something. It's like they say like don't eat like the colorful frogs because those are poisonous. There's something in my
Yeah.
brain that's like walk away. When you see a clickbait thumbnail and they have the white outline, I'm like that guy's a pedophile. Run the fuck away. He wants to wear your skin. Like fuck that. So when I see clickbaity thumb, I'm just like, because it's like real life. Somebody comes up to you and just, you and I have kind of become friends, right? We just chat, so whatever. I was never like, hey, Wyatt, Tommy here from the podcast. Love your channel. I was just like, hey, dude,
Hey,
got your email.
you just behave like an American for the first time.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't give a fuck. I'm like,
the stereotype of Americans.
Yeah.
Hey, man, just
what's up, dude? What's up? No, it's just, hey, you come on here and we just fucking sit here and talk. It's like, so to me, and like in real life, if someone ever came up to me and was like, what's up, dude? You'll never believe my day. It was what I'd be like, were you?
But if you talk like this, right, for the 15 minutes, right, and put on YouTube, you'll be a hit.
I'll make $100 million in a year. I'll fucking if I just review TikTok channels and the new iPhone and Yeezys, I'll have $1 billion by Thanksgiving.
Yeah. You know what I see today? Check out this video.
Look at my reaction video. I'm not even gonna put out content. It's me reacting to someone else's subpar content. Tune in later as I beat a hooker half to death with a golf club.
Well, you got talent for this, man.
Yeah, no, I do. But as I do that, my soul is dying. The little light inside of me
just let it die, man.
Just let it die. Put your finger on the candle, put that shit out, let the eyes go black, become a vessel for money. But that's how you end up a Disney starlet who's dead at 30 in a bathtub full of her own blood, right? They all go that way. They fucking succeed, and then they crash and fucking burn, dude. Like Princess Diana, you're done. So maybe if I keep the little bit of the spark alive.
For me, so what I do is that I mix it a little bit into the serious stuff.
Just let it die. Let the light die.
Because I'm always aware that I shouldn't overdo it. If not, then my channel become a comedy channel. So but I do add in some of my dark humor, something sometimes because sometimes the topic is become too serious. So I do put it a bit of humor or some just trash talk. Sometimes that's what I do. To make it interesting, because ultimately I realized that it's still entertainment. Because some people do watch it just purely for the information, for the news, but it doesn't last long because you see the entertainment industry is much bigger than the news industry. So I have no choice. So pander a bit, pander a little bit. Let the soul die just a little bit. For that growth, the trade with the devil is worth it a little bit.
I can't do it. It's a catch-22 because I
you
am
have to fight the ego.
I am my soul, and my soul is not going to willingly die.
So, but I mean, this is your battle you have to fight because ego is usually the biggest enemy.
It's a detriment.
Because that's what I do. So I always very constantly aware of my own ego. So I have an ego. Sometimes I go on a tirade against some Twitter users on Twitter. I will just call them out, retweet them, and say, "Look at this idiot," and kind of thing. Like I really do that because sometimes people just triggers me and like I just unleash on them.
Yeah.
Then sometimes I just screenshot and share across all my social media. I just make sure that everybody knows this guy is an idiot. Please, you screw with me, for what? I didn't even offend you, and you want to be famous, I let you be famous. It's all right. And then I sometimes I do that. So but that is ego, you see. So I try to control it a bit, but sometimes I just cannot take it. It's like, you, what the fuck you saying?
Yeah.
Then yeah, but this is also part of the principle. You don't let people step over you. So once people cross that line, okay, you cross the line, right? Okay, you want to tell me this, right? I help you tell the whole world since you think that you're right. I just tell the whole world.
Yeah.
I did that to one of my sources, which who he gave me a lot of fake information, and so and I don't know. At first I thought that he's a real source. He know people on the ground and stuff. And after that, none of his things checked out. And then I started to realize, and then after a few days, I realized, fuck, this guy is fucking with me. So still, I very publicly call him out for it on my videos, on my social media. I just I just disown him entirely. And then he he took it very badly. And I basically banned him from my Discord channel and stuff like this. Basically all out. Like then because he claimed himself as part of the team TPA. Because at first I put him in this private channel within Discord to for people that are helping me, provide me information or help. And then he took it like as if it's like some official thing. And then he put it inside his Twitter profile. And then I just basically just disclaim him. And then he said that, I'm jealous about his growth on Twitter. And I said, I don't even give a damn about Twitter, man. But the only thing important to me is YouTube. So it's like, I basically call him out and I screenshot and share across everything. I think his Twitter not ever since it's not really growing that much. I'm not sure. Because his information is all fake. It's all wrong. So that is my ego working. I can't stand it. Yeah, but we do have to sometimes to control it.
Now, what if you killed him and ate his body? You give that maybe be a viral video.
No. That is too much. No,
that's too much. Don't go Jeffrey Dahmer.
No. That's too much. That is not just press the fire. You press through the entire candle.
Yeah. That's light. Yeah. That's eating the candle and then lighting your hair on fire. That's too much.
Yeah, that's too much. No.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
You can go crazy, but not too crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. Every once in a while, I just kind of like saying something like that, just because you see the person react. Like, the fuck? Like, yeah, dude, just kill him. Does he have a cat? Put it in a microwave. They're like, dude, what the fuck? It's kind of, I don't know, you get a little kick out of it. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like, I guess, like a serious note, when I see all those channels with 10 million whatever subscribers, and like log in on you, or don't log in on YouTube. Go to YouTube and like just a new browser, not logged in, no history, and just see what it gives you spontaneously. Look at all those channels.
All entertainment. Usually is the entertainment stuff. Let me see. Okay, seeing when Scottish people speak English.
So, but that's my point. You look at any of them. You look at the faces, look at the thumbnails, look at the titles of the video, the use of capital letters, and then watch the video with the intro music, and then the editing style. When you look at any of those, okay, they are wildly successful. They're printing money, but they're replaceable. You can remove any one of those guys could die. One of those guys could just get kidnapped and thrown into a blender. They'd replace him. There'd just be another guy with covering NBA 2K22 with the same wacky face. There'd be another 10-year-old doing prank videos. To me, there's there's nothing unique. And if there's nothing unique, then there's nothing that can't be replaced immediately, right? I mean, think of like a 90s pop star. It's all vapid. You can replace them. You get a new producer to auto-tune the music. You have you have a PR consultant, make him look like NSYNC or Backstreet Boys or Britney Spears. It's all the fucking same. It's a vessel. And when none of it's yours, when none of it's definitively yours, it can be taken away from you as quickly as it can be given to you. So to me, I'm like, not even the whole ego thing. I'm like an actual business standpoint. I'm like, do something that no one else can do. Be you, for better or worse. Be you. Just be you, because you can't replace that. So when someone does try to censor you, because you are unique and you have your own fingerprint of content, people will go, I have no choice but to follow him to Patreon because I like that. Versus when you're just another generic whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
There's nothing. You can burn
So
down
this
one
reminds
McDonald's,
me.
just go to the other.
So this reminds me of the earlier days when I was covering the war. I was trying to speak proper English, like American English or British English. Speak properly. Not using Singlish or Singaporean accented English. And I was struggling so hard. Then until one point I was like, fuck it, I just gotta speak normally. And then that works too. The only side effect is that some people say I don't understand what a single word that you're saying, which obviously that's not true. And then there's some people say you sound like Nigerian, and I never knew Nigerian sounds like Singlish until one day I actually saw one video and I was like, oh fuck, they speak Jesus. Like this, sounds exactly like me.
but even that, it's just like, but you're you, like you're you,
and like, I prefer that way because
you're
some of that. Like some of the channel, I think there's one what China. Shit. What? Oh, I don't know what China video. China so there's some of the there's some of the YouTube channels. They wear suits. They have this persona like as if they're newscasters.
Yeah. We're coming at you live from the Ukraine war. Now we're looking at new.
I mean, people will enjoy it sometimes. I
sure,
guess.
But it's not unique. They're a dime a dozen. Versus it's you and it's defense politics Asia, and then it's you scrolling through your digital map.
Yeah.
No one else is doing it. It's you. It's just you.
So it's just that it's very tiring to do that as well. Where they always speak in a certain special way, special accent that is not natural. Then I realized that I just be myself. Forget it. Yeah. It's just that I still realize that there is still a need to gain the viewership, gain the subscribers. So that's why now I'm prostituting myself with thumbnails and whatever, because ultimately you need the reach so that you can actually do more and spread the message more. So I see that in terms of business point of view, it's a necessity for now to do that. But when they actually go into the video, I'm still the same. It's still the same video. It's still the same me. So it's just that the thumbnails changed. Yeah, and it helps because there are people that really only suckers for clickbaits, unfortunately, and they are not getting the right information because they only clickbaits. So when they come to my channel, they actually see something different. So that helps. So hopefully I can brainwash you a bit.
It's
because okay. So as a designer, the end result is important to me. So the whole point, the entire objective is what's the end result that you want to get. So it's rather than it's not like a religion where I just do one thing all the time because that's my principle, and then you don't care about the end result. Because why we do all these things is because of the end result. We want to share information with the world. So, but if we are not sharing, we are spending so much effort, and then only so few people is watching it, then it's a pointless.
No, you're correct. If the end goal is to have a successful channel with viewership and make money, logically you would do anything to make that happen, even if it means clickbait.
And even if it's not about money, for your case, is the money is pretty low because of the platforms that you are limited to. To get more people to hear to learn all this new knowledge or information, you still need to have the ability to reach them. So reaching them will be an object. It will be an important part of the job to find a way to reach them. And I spend a lot of time thinking, how do I reach more viewers? Which is why, in the end, I gave up, and then I gave up, and do thumbnails, because my moderators on this Discord has been telling me, hey, you should do thumbnails. They have been telling me that for like 2-3 months, and I only just started doing that.
Yeah.
It's an additional work. It is additional work. I think, but it's just things I do.
I think, in my opinion, it's like, it's okay to do clickbait thumbnails with clickbait titles, but the video should also be clickbaity and shallow. Because if you're using clickbait to pull someone in, they're not gonna they're gonna click on it, and then when they see it's a serious discussion, they're gonna leave because they wanted the shiny thing with the bright colors. So to me, I'm like, I'm not gonna give you a false pretense and be like, Wyatt drops the ball on the Ukraine war. No, it's gonna be a dry title because that's just what it fucking is, right? If I'm having a dipshit conversation about, tell me about what it was like the first time you bought sneakers. What do Yeezys feel like? Dude, I fucking love Justin Bieber. If I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna go all in and I'm gonna act like a brain dead retard. But I'm not gonna do that. So it's like,
so don't make it so clickbaitish, like just a little bit. Don't overdo it.
I don't know. I think it's like my same problem with like Russia and the United States. I'm like, if you're gonna go to war, fucking nuke them from orbit and be finished in an hour, or don't go at all.
Yeah.
That's kind of my logic. If I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna make it as me as I can. Yeah, I don't know. In a year, I'll just be like doing clickbait thumbnails and making money. I'll be like, fuck that guy, dude. Fucking
1 year from now, I was like,
Wyatt live from the Kremlin.
You're so talented to do that, man.
I know. That's the bad part. Is I could be such a dirty clickbait whore. You know what? Maybe what I'm doing right now is it's like a slingshot. I'm slowly pulling it back. I'm building up the anger to finally become the most clickbaity person. I'll make PewDiePie look like a serious journalist. I'll just go.
Yeah.
I'll be so clickbaity. It'll just be like tits, ass, iPhones, French fries, Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, PewDiePie is like 100% clickbaitish, right? Like, oh my god, his video is quite boring to me.
Yeah, I've watched a couple.
It's so boring. I don't like. Why is his channel so big? He's just screaming all the time.
Yeah, I mean, like
screaming all the time.
Yeah, I mean, like I respect the grift, but that's the thing is like when I see him like screaming and like making kid jokes, but it's been like he's an adult. Like that will lead to my death. If I have to every day be like, whoa, that's great, I'll become an alcoholic, dude. I'll be waking up snorting Xanax just to do the podcast. Like, that's the other thing is like, I have to look after my own mental health. If I crush my soul to do a clickbait podcast, it's going to come out on the other end. I'm going to walk into a football stadium with a bomb on my chest. Like,
so don't go all in, man. Don't go all in. I just tell you to like little bit like, oh, I want to go all in. No. Don't become PewDiePie. Don't be PewDiePie. I don't think the PewDiePie formula works that well.
It worked for him because
me at least. The only reason is because he's the first, and then there was this battle with T series. That's the only reason why he got so many subs.
Yeah,
like his videos are unwatchable for me.
It's so boring. Dead.
And then some of the things I just don't understand. Maybe I'm just cultural, maybe generational gap.
I think you have to be 12 to like it.
What the hell he's talking about? Sometimes that. Huh?
Like that's the thing, man. It's like I hang out with my friends and we play video games. I don't play video games with like 12-year-olds. So why in God's name would I put out content for 12-year-olds? Like, I get it. He's printing money, but at the same time, man, if I had a friend that like put out videos for 12-year-olds, I don't think they'd be my friend anymore because I'm 32. That's 20 years removed. I'd remove myself from them as well, because they're probably a pedophile. Like, to me, that's just red flag. That's just red flag. If someone came up to me like, dude, did you hear that Billy and Katie broke up? I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking? Oh, yeah, they're two 11-year-olds down the street. I'd be like, why? Huh? What? You're doing what? We got to file taxes, dude. What are we doing? Dude, fucking Katie told Susan that they're not best friends anymore. I'd call the police. And guess what? If a 52-year-old was like, did you hear Wyatt and Tommy were fucking talking shit? I'd be like, what's wrong with you? Where's your wife? You should be bringing your kids to school. Like, it's so, to me, there's also just like a huge red flag. True. Like, I'm like,
you're bringing this to such a dark place.
Hey, man, I never even thought about it. Behind it all. There's the darkness behind it. I bet there's some skeletons in PewDiePie's closet. There's something there. There's gonna be a fucking bust on his apartment one day.
The only thing I envy about him is his revenue.
That's the only thing I envy about him is his money.
So much money.
That's it.
But his viewership is rather shitty for his number of subs.
I mean, listen, why? I don't think you and I can criticize PewDiePie's viewership.
let me see. His viewership is okay. I correct myself.
What?
It's all in the millions. Sorry, I actually no. Sorry,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. What? Yeah. What?
Sorry, God.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's all in the millions. You know, the previous time I actually go to his channel, it's not in the millions. Now it's like all in the millions. His viewership. Oh, good. Is it? Is it? Yeah. It's all what, 7, 4, 10, 2,
how
all
many?
millions.
What's his total views?
Total viewers.
Yeah.
Okay,
Total.
let me
No, his
see.
total views.
He got 111 million subscribers.
No. Yeah.
Total views is 28 billion 500. There are 28.5 billion views. His latest video 3 days ago is 3.3 million views, and he's talking about why he didn't quit. Yeah, why would you quit when every stupid video you make is like in the millions of views?
What am I doing? Why didn't I go
His
to
lower,
Why didn't I
his
go to medical
smallest.
school?
Why didn't you prostitute yourself with?
No, why didn't
clickbaits?
I go to medical school? Why didn't I just get my white coat and shut the fuck up? Why did I have to go for something bigger?
He's in his first like maybe 20 videos, the last 20 videos, the lowest view count is 1.7 million views, lowest. And it's a video of him singing Japanese karaoke.
I just don't know if like my dad and my brothers would look me in the eye if I had a YouTube channel where I just screamed about Minecraft. I don't know if they'd like view me as like a fellow man. I think they might just look at me from a distance, kind of like wave.
No, then you say, "This is the key to your Ferrari."
Yeah.
Oh, son.
Yeah. And then I
you,
capture.
son.
Yeah. And then I have a video camera and I upload it and I go, gifting my brother a Ferrari.
Yeah. And you cannot, you will never guess how
You'll never guess how I did it. No, I would make it really fucking bad. I'd like interview like the head of a Mexican cartel. I'll be like, you'll never guess how he made his money. He decapitated a local policeman. People will be like, what the fuck?
No, 3 things the mafia cartel did
that you never could have guessed. Yeah.
You can never know.
You can, yeah. 7 parts of Hitler's daily regime. You'll never guess number 6.
Oh shit, man! All these are so clickbaitish, man. You got a good talent for it.
Yeah.
You're gonna like hit it big with all this.
It'll snuff my soul clean out. It'd be, I mean, Jesus Christ. That's what I would do is I'll get like AI recreations of like famous like mass shooters and I'd interview them. You can see right now where Wyatt's considering maybe not doing this podcast again.
I was thinking, 7 things that Hitler liked to do. Video.
7, and people would be like, I wonder what it was, and it'd be like number 6. You got an update from Dachau. You'd be like,
I'm 100% sure you'll be like my top view video. I so 100% sure because I will so click it myself.
Oh, we'd all click it. It'd be
I will click it out. I was like, what is that 7 things I need to know now?
What is number 7? And it wouldn't even be unique. It would be something Hitler did. It would be horrifying. Yeah, what am I doing trying to interview serious people? What am I doing trying to fucking like talk to like actual like cancer researchers and engineers? Like, what am I doing? Why am I not just fucking talking about VR and Facebook? Why am I not just covering Kanye West?
What am I doing? Review your life, man.
What am I doing?
So disappointing.
I need to start dressing like a 12-year-old. I need to start wearing like a backwards baseball cap, get fucking like carry a skateboard with me, and just TikTok dance and
exactly. What are you doing with your life?
What was that?
American Chinese accent.
Is that supposed to be American?
American Chinese accent because they talk so much Cantonese, then their English is all fucked.
I don't even know what you're doing right now. It's uncomfortable. Stop it.
So you're not watching enough YouTube videos, so you do not know. I think some of your viewers might catch it.
I didn't like that. Please don't do that. That was uncomfortable. I don't want to do this anymore. I need an adult. I'm gonna call the police. The fuck was that? That was uncomfortable. All right, Wyatt. Well,
Yeah, it's
my
it's
brain's
3
cooked.
hours,
We're almost at
3
4.
hours 48 minutes. Yeah, we are almost 4 hours. So
Oh,
this
God.
it's a pretty long one.
Well, we covered for Ukraine for a little bit.
Yeah, I know you viewers are so disappointed. Don't know what the hell we are talking about. Like half the things is not what you
I'm gonna
expect
be
we
getting a
talking
lot of
about.
concerned emails of people being like, "Dude, I think you're on the edge of just a mental crack."
I was also thinking about, originally I was thinking, oh, I want to post this, this recording on my own channel. So now, fuck, I cannot put it on my channel because it has nothing to do with geopolitics and politics. Most of the case, I have to crop out like more than half of the video.
Like 90% of it.
That might as well. No point, man.
Yeah. Maybe that's a microcosm of why this channel isn't working. People do it and they finish it. They're like, I'm not telling anyone I did that.
Maybe I should. I can post it on Walking Problem. Think about it.
I think you should just go down in flames, upload it to DPA, and get kicked off.
I already uploaded our first one because that was way more serious. Yeah, I already posted. Yeah, try to drive traffic to your side, but because the channel is too new, because it's a separate channel, so the channel only got like 360 subs. Yeah, so how many views do I get from that? I think, let me see, 1,900 views
on Rumble,
on
YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube.
I think that's more than I got.
Yeah, I hope that I drive traffic to you. That I don't know if they go over there. Yeah, I can send you the link later. You can take a look.
Fucking hate
all actually, I can send you the link here, man.
I fucking hate all this shit so much.
Yeah, no choice. No,
I fucking hate all this
yourself.
I just fucking hate all this shit so much. Maybe this is the last episode. Maybe you've broken me. Maybe this is it.
Guys.
914. That's a good number. That's a good number to end on.
Yeah, sorry, guys. I've broken Tommy for you.
You broke the podcast.
It's okay. You can still come to my channel to watch me.
You can still come to, yeah. Maybe you broke me. This might be it. This just might be it. It's such a fallen world of. There's no reward to working hard and like putting out great video. It really is just clickbait thumbnails and scream.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome to the real world.
Why has God forsaken us? Why has the devil has run amok and ruined your creation?
666.
What was that?
666.
Oh, I thought you said snake. I was like,
what? Okay, snake.
Snake, dude. The devil's number. Snake. Wyatt breaks Tommy, turns into a Satanist. Little devil horn. Fuck this.
I think we should wrap it up.
Fuck this podcast.
Almost 4 hours.
Fuck all.
Yeah. Sorry for wasting your 4 hours or nearly 4 hours time.
Hey, Wyatt. You ain't talking to anybody. Nobody watched the whole thing. You're not talking to me.
Are you still here? Drop in the comments to tell us that you are actually still here. I think
if somebody listens to this right now, comment the timestamp of you. If somebody's actually listened to this point, comment this as a timestamp and then show it to your doctor because you need mental health or help. Mental health. Whatever. Fuck this shit. Well, I'll text this to you when it's up, man. I'm gonna go get. I gotta go get some groceries. Thanks so much, man. Fucking
the sun is out. It's getting bright outside. You see, the sun is out.
Clickbait thumbnail. Sun rises over our seas.
All right.
I'll see you next.